Yes, that's right.
It's time for the best podcast around. Grab a cold one, sit back, and enjoy the show. This is Corner Pub Sports.
Hey, this is Brett Myers, and listen to Corner Pub Sports.
Corner Pub Sports.
Fuck with my ass, man. Yeah.
What is going on, everybody? We are here live in the relief room. What?
Yeah.
We are in the relief room.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yes.
Oh, this is so cool. So, Corner Pub Sports Crew is here with Matt Everett. Matt is off camera here. I'll get you on later. I'll get you on.
I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, we're on with Matt Edwards in the relief room in the Pennsylvania area. I'm not going to tell you where, but his address is now. And this is amazing, dude. So behind me, like literally 2 feet behind me, is the actual relief room. It is. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it because it's a shrine.
So
It's a shrine.
for all our listeners and people everywhere out there in Facebook and whatever world, if you got if you need a relief, this is the room you want to make a relief.
It's
Not quite this room, but you get the point.
It's right next door. I'm honored that I got to relieve myself in the
true.
room.
It's true.
I think
like
we all
number
have
one
at
or
this
number
point.
two.
Just one.
Oh yeah.
It's lame.
Well, it's still early.
I'm hoping I got to go while the show's
Yeah.
going on. Honestly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bring the dog in with
I
me.
mean, that's why we have a fan in there, guys, so that we don't have to worry
Absolutely.
about the noise out here.
Who don't want to leave a ring around that toilet?
That's part of it, man. We need rings in there. There's a championship wall in there for
That's
rings.
true. We
you
almost
know?
had one.
I know.
Yeah.
We were close.
We're going back.
We were
That's
close.
not the kind of
Oh,
ring
I
I'm
was
talking about.
already looking at spots like where's Sir Anthony going?
Yeah.
Where's Alvarado going?
Man.
I'm like, oh, I'm getting a Vinny Natoli right up here, baby. And not to be. So maybe this year we'll see how that
That's
goes.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
so tonight on the show we have a couple guests calling in. So what we got on tap, Max? I'm gonna let you introduce it, man, because this is your doing tonight.
Yeah, for sure. It's pretty cool to have the fellas here at the relief room. We talked to a number of folks, reached out to a number of folks, inductees, to see if they could join us and share some stories and some laughs. And so leading off, we're gonna have Terry Adams, who came to us as a starter and did okay, but then transitioned to the bullpen and was money. And everybody wants to start, but once he got to the pen, he got enshrined for
That's
ever.
right.
That's all that
You know,
matters.
That's all that
eternally
matters.
enshrined, right? So that's guest number one. Guest number two is from the late 80s, early 90s. This guy played 147 games in his major league career, all with the Phillies. You know how many games he started?
None.
Zero.
Yeah.
Zero.
But that don't make him a douchebag.
No. That makes him
No
Wally
one
Ritchie.
Start.
And
It makes a Wally Ritchie.
147 games, no starts. That's a man after my own heart.
Yes.
He agreed to call in, which is awesome. So I can't wait to talk to him. And then our last guest is going to be everybody's favorite
The
friend,
one, the only.
Scott Eyre. Is,
Yeah.
Awesome.
Scott's the
Enough said.
man. Enough said. I mean, he's the first and so far only reliever to visit the relief room.
Only
So
relief?
far, of
So far,
course.
it's-
So far.
Of course.
We're hoping that changes.
And that's going to change, of course. I mean, once he kind of opened the floodgates, it's
Right.
it's now just a matter of time.
So Speaking of one and only,
Did
hold
he
on.
take a dump at your house?
I'm a
We don't
gentleman.
talk about this.
Scott,
Oh no, he's being asked.
Absolutely.
Well, who will be asked? But
You got
so
a toilet seat with a signature on it.
That's decoration. There's been no cheeks on
I
that seat.
actually have live audio of when he came here. I mean, this is live audio we have of Scott Eyre. And hold on, and then the finish.
Oh, it stinks.
There it is.
I mean,
There
it
it
is
is.
where you go to
oh, I
relieve
thought that was
yourself.
the
I
douche
mean,
drop. No, we didn't have that one.
Potty jokes are part of the allure here, guys. I mean, that's the way it goes.
It's a double
So,
wide surprise.
You have to be the only one that has a reliever light switch.
I mean, that is a Steve Bedrosian. I mean, look at those stirrups. That stirrup game is strong. I have several plates for my light switch. I mean, I kind of vary it here and there.
Oh, you
so,
just entered.
I mean, you know, the archives
It's
of the
right on
relief
his
room dig
jump,
deep.
too, which I
Yes.
love.
Dig deep. So yeah, that's I mean, how many people would want that? I mean, me.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
But I
That and his family.
the
right?
the relief room R&D department has a long reach. I get lots of crazy cool things.
Yeah,
Like right behind you, like we talked about earlier. I mean, Toby Borland's cleats are right up at the top of that locker up there.
that's awesome.
And,
My favorite.
You know, and
He's my favorite.
he's the best, dude.
He's
His
my favorite.
mustache, like his baseball cards, they never missed. Every one was the funniest card I've ever seen.
That's
Like 'cause the
awesome.
mustache, the look.
Who's
whole
the starting? Who's this right here?
That's Robin Roberts.
Oh, it's Robin Robert. That's
So
cool. Look at that.
he did
He's
he
hiding
was
right
he
in
was
front-
primarily a starter, but I knew him. He owned a golf course that I used to work at as a teenager.
Yes, sir. I
Lime
played
Kiln
that-
Golf
I played
Course.
that course
And
many
so
times.
he was as kind as could be. Kurt Simmons was the guy on the course. Robin lived in Florida, but when he would come up only a couple times a year, I'm a teenager, and every time he'd be like, "Hey Matt, how's everything? How's your family?" Like he remembered. He was just that kind of courteous
awesome.
person, and he was just the most genuine guy.
That's
so
a great story.
even though he was a starter, he did relieve a little bit because everybody did back in those days. He gets carte blanche for that. The other thing there is the Mike Williams game used batting gloves, of course. Mike Williams, who has one of the greatest baseball cards of all time. I'm going to point it out when we're in there because it just looks like he had the photo taken at like the Owen Mills photo thing. Like he's like this, like
Oh, that's awesome.
in like his terrible late 90s or late
Oh,
80s, early
no.
90s button down. Like it's just the greatest.
That's
Well,
awesome.
He tried 2 bunt attempts against Fernando Valenzuela when Fernando was with
Ooh, yeah, that's
the
that's not gonna work out
Padres,
very well.
but I got his gloves.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
Cool.
So,
So
yeah,
talk about the coffee cup.
the coffee cup is a guy named Erskine Thomason. He literally had a cup of coffee in the major leagues. He played in one game. He
That's
played
awesome.
in one inning. And so my beautiful friend Michael Carroll made me that mug, and it literally on the back side of it says cup of coffee. And
wrong with that?
You have
Erskine
a
Thomason.
coffee cup of a guy of the reliever that had a cup of coffee.
That's right.
With it. That's
That's right.
amazing.
Yeah.
Here's a guy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Here's a guy.
Here's a guy.
I got some crazy stuff, and like the Borland cleats, it was great when I got those. It was awesome. It's when Tyler Kepner was over here from the New York Times. I'm name dropping like mad, right?
Yeah.
And it was great. He and I opened them together, and I didn't know what they were until you flip the tongue back, and there it says Borland 42 on it.
That's
right?
awesome.
And it was great because we were right in here in my kitchen, and Tyler just went like gasped and took
No
a
way.
step back, like it was like he was opening the grail, you know. And it was just the coolest thing to one to be able to share it with him because he's a huge Phillies fan.
Yeah.
I mean, he grew up around here. That's our
Yeah,
connection.
Tyler
Like,
went
it's-
to Tyler went to Germantown.
that's
Academy.
exactly
Yep.
right.
Yep.
And we're roughly the same age, and it's, you know, it was very cool to be able to share something like that. That's cool. That is that cool with somebody like that at that level.
Nice.
It's pretty sweet.
Nice.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, dude. So like, I don't know. Should we do it now? Should we do the tour now?
I mean, I think so.
Let's
Why-
do the
why
tour now.
not?
So let's do the tour
Why the
now.
hell
So
not?
you can actually stay on here if you want. You
Oh,
can,
okay.
and then Ryan will go in here with the phone,
Oh,
right?
okay. Yeah.
Your
Oh,
phone.
there's Mitchie Poo just sitting right front and center.
Dude, and you know what it
Yeah.
says on that? You know how we had him sign that? Throwing gas in the relief, or bringing the gas
Oh,
in the
that's
relief.
awesome.
Oh, that's
I mean,
awesome.
come on. I got one of Greg Harris. If you remember Greg Harris,
Yeah, yeah,
ambidextrous through both hands.
Yeah.
There's a card in there of him that says using both hands in the relief room.
Wow.
I mean, how-
That's awesome.
How good is that, right? And it just tells you how good their sense of humor is.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
they get it. Like it's potty jokes, you know.
Yeah.
And that they get that because Like I've walked up to any number of guys and been like, "Hey man, I'm a huge fan. I've got an 8x10 of you hanging in my bathroom," and they're just like, "Huh?" And then I explain it, and it's just such a unique, different approach that they're just like, "Well, that's pretty cool," And that's the fun part of it is sharing it, is honoring these guys, but then sharing it with other super fans. Like it's just like being at the ball game and hugging a stranger that's next to you because Reese hits a bomb or whatever happens.
Right.
It's just that communal aspect of it that this has brought this together. Like, how cool is this?
Well, that was the thing. Like I'm sitting. You might have to just do it. Okay. So that's the thing. Like, I'm in there. I'm taking a whiz, and I'm just looking around. I'm like,
he's taking a whiz,
and I'm looking around. I'm like, oh my god, I forgot about this guy. I forgot about that guy. I forgot about this. Like, it's so cool, man. So we're having a little bit of a. So for the live viewers, we're gonna try to do a tour. Maybe we'll have to do a little bit later. We're trying to get it going. So what we'll do is we'll show you visually of what's going on in there.
Or do we have some technical difficulty?
Yeah, and we'll have Matt kind of narrate what's on the walls and stuff. But again, like we were saying at the beginning, right at the beginning of the show here, we have Terry Adams calling pretty much any minute now.
As long as it ain't Philadelphia subway walls.
Yeah, he's gonna write you. He's gonna text you. Yeah.
That's dangerous.
So, we're gonna have Terry Adams. Okay, it's all good. Calling in a few minutes.
Is it Wi-Fi related?
It's gonna be awesome, man. That's gonna be a lot of fun.
What's the Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
The
So, but here we are, man. Like this is First of all, St. Patrick's Day, right? We had March Madness Day. We've been drinking for Mike and I have been drinking for 6 hours.
Aaron, go, bro.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. A couple car bombs, perhaps.
Oh,
kind of going at it with some car bombs. Yeah, how was that, Garrett? By the way, how did that go out for you?
I'll tell you what, man. I said to myself, let me do a car bomb, catch up with these guys. I do the car bomb. 10 minutes later, I'm like, maybe I shouldn't.
Yeah, it didn't work out too well for you, did it?
But I'm still here. I'm still awake.
Yeah, you are still awake. I'm
That's
impressed.
true. There is a beanbag that has Gary's name written all over it.
If I sit on
It's
that,
a pretty big
It's
beanbag.
over.
Yeah, it's pretty
It's
great.
It is
good night,
awesome.
Irene.
That's a good point, actually.
That's good.
Yeah,
night,
you
Irene.
handled like a champ, though, man. You did all right. You did all right. Are you good now?
Oh.
All right, here we go.
It
So,
it helps when you got a pig bartender.
all right, so Ryan's got it going. All right, so let's do a virtual tour, right? So, Matt, if you want to jump on here,
Yeah.
actually, what we'll do is we'll do this. We'll full screen this so you can see what Ryan's going to
There
show
we
us
go.
here.
Head on in.
So Ryan's going to head into the relief room. Head on in.
Welcome to Valhalla.
There it is. There's a relief room.
Don't
For
say
those
that
who are-
when you're grabbing your cheeks.
Did it freeze on us again?
Oh, there we go. There we go.
All right.
I mean, you get some of the some of the originals right there. Teak and Al Holland. I mean, look at that face. I mean, this looks like he smelled a fart. I mean, and there's the championship wall right behind the head. That's only if you're a champion do you get on that wall.
That's right.
So there's room to grow because I'm a terrible optimist. Meaning terribly optimistic. I know that we're going to fill that wall in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
So that's very cool. And you froze up on the corner there. Oh, there we go. We're moving a little bit. And that's how it started. It was with Brad Lidge and Tug McGraw. My dad actually cut those photos out of the newspaper for crying out loud.
Brad Lidge was the first one, right?
First one.
Yeah.
That's what started it. Yep. That celebration of the 08 World Series. That's exactly right. Yep. And then I got Ron Reed on a soda can. I got Sparky Lyle on a bar of soap. I mean, I got Lowell Palmer on a bouncy
I seen
ball.
the bar of soap.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, can't use that.
No.
He said Lowell Palmer.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah, look up Lowell Palmer. That guy's the man.
That's awesome, dude.
There's all kinds of crazy things about him. I mean, he was involved in a trade with one of the famous Yankee wife swappers, if you remember that story from the 70s.
No.
We'll get into that on another episode. But
Sean, that's an interesting story, but it goes back.
Oh, okay. All right.
Again,
Dude, that's so cool. Look, just check out the room as Matt's going to take the call here. So yeah, just check it out, dude. Like, look at these walls, dude. They're covered in pictures. That's amazing. So
All
go.
relievers.
So here's Mitchie Poo, right? You're going right by Mitchie Poo there. There's Mitchie Poo. Dude, he's got old timers. So Matt, or Ryan, turn around for a second.
he's
And
got
I'm
old
gonna
time.
close this door. I'm gonna close this door and go on along that wall. These are the old timers. Like, these are the original old timers right there. On that door.
Drunk driving.
How cool is that, man? All right. So we have on the air with us, we have former Philadelphia Phillies relief pitcher Terry Adams. Terry, how are you, man?
I'm good, guys. How y'all doing?
Nice.
We're good.
Hey,
We're
Y'all enjoying St. Patrick's Day?
We
just
should.
a tad.
Maybe just a little too much.
Well, there's never a little too much.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Now, Terry, this is Matt. This is the relief room guy, right?
Right.
You and I were buddies on Twitter, and we were chatting a little bit, and you sent my son a video for his birthday. Like, it got canceled by COVID, and you sent a happy birthday video. Like, you were badass. I felt like we had like a good bromance going, and then you disappeared from Twitter. You broke my heart.
Yeah, I'm on Twitter, but I just got a separate account. It started over, so a lot of people that I followed or unfollowed or whatever wasn't intentional. It's just started over, so to say.
Okay.
But I'm still around.
Oh, okay, good. Because I thought I was ghosted. I thought I did something wrong.
No, nothing intentional. I mean, maybe you could give me maybe a bigger picture. I don't know. Like, I mean, you got a small picture in the bathroom. I think I deserve something a little bit bigger.
Oh,
okay.
A little bit more visible.
Okay. I get that. I understand that.
He's saying bigger is better.
You did send me that card. I do appreciate that. Well, then I'm gonna find an 8x10 of you, and I'm gonna get that up in there. That's I'll make
prime
that
real estate.
That's prime real estate, because the 8x10s are the friends. Like, those are the big guys.
Yeah, I think I deserve some beachfront property.
there's plenty of room on the ceiling right there. I see it right there. I can see it.
There's tons. Hey, and
So what Philly do you want to look at as you're taking a dump?
Well, any of them, all of them,
all
right?
of them.
Absolutely. I mean, and that's part of it too. Is just it's an ever growing thing. So I am always moving things around. So I will find the perfect spot.
I want to look at guys throwing heat as I'm dumping heat. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. That's right.
So Terry, when you and I
long as it ain't loose and moist.
Yeah, well, it's going in the right spot. You were when you and I chatted before, you had said that you were buddies with Turk Wendell, and he's a big fan. We're a big fan of his around here as well. But we only saw him from the TV, as far as spiking the rosin bag and wearing the animal teeth around his neck. Like, what can you share about him? About his relationship? Because you play with him on the Cubs and the Phils. Like, what was that like?
Yeah, I've known Turk. I've known Turk since my rookie year in Chicago. He had been there a couple of years in the big leagues my first year, and we became close. He used to invite me over to his apartment. We'd have dinner, and he'd hang out, and stuff, kind of taking care of me my first year, showing me the ropes. And then we ended up becoming hunting buddies and stuff like that. I've talked to him pretty much. He's pretty much the only guy I talk to on a regular basis. I follow his kids.
Nice.
I know his daughter has done well for herself and become a police officer, and his son actually got drafted. I'm not sure if he's with the Diamondbacks, maybe, but he's like 6'5", about 220.
Damn.
Good pitcher. So Turk will share some pictures and things of what they're doing in the off season and stuff like that.
Awesome.
So, but he's doing very well. He's moved to Iowa, and he's still like into hunting and farming and stuff like that.
Nice.
Still close. I think he's more close to the Mets organization, doing things with them.
That makes sense.
As far as like alumni stuff, but yeah, he's probably, like I said, he's probably one of the closer people I keep in touch with. But he's doing very good, and he's just a solid guy.
Nice.
Just takes care of everybody. He's just he's a first class person.
That's so cool. That is cool. That's great to hear.
Yeah.
Because we only get one image of him, chewing licorice and brushing his teeth, and that's all the image
yeah,
we get.
A lot of people. A lot of people see what's on TV and they think that's what the person is. They don't get to see the locker room stuff or the off the field stuff, or even out of uniform where you're not even playing the game. Everybody's got their own little personalities and stuff, but he's not really like throwing the rosin bag crazy type person. He's really just laid back, give you the shirt off his back to help you if you're in trouble, type person.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we've been doing this show for 8 years now. We've had the opportunity to talk to quite a few people that have played for the Phillies and other organizations, other sports teams, and we've gotten to know a few of these athletes, and we found out a lot about them. That it's not what you see on TV. There's a lot more to these guys, and it's really cool.
Yeah.
So we've been blessed to be able to do this for as long as we have, and we appreciate guys like you calling in and being a part of it and sharing these stories like this, man. So thank you for that.
Yeah, it's super cool. And speaking of like other teams and sharing stories, like Terry, you were on the Cubs. You mentioned being on the Cubs with Turk and all. You were on the Cubs in '98 when Sosa and McGuire lit the world on fire.
Wow, how about
Like,
that? Yeah.
how was that? Like, was that? I mean, it was surreal for everybody watching it. Like, to be there front row. Like, how was that?
Well, that was I guess an odd or a unique thing because we just really didn't know it was going to happen that way, but we were in the same division, so it just so happened that we played a lot. So when we would travel to St. Louis, I mean, we actually had to. Our hotel was basically like 200 yards across the street, but we had to take a bus.
Oh, geez.
From the hotel to across the street because there were so many fans like in the rows trying to get to the players that we had to get there. But it was my first experience kind of being, I guess if you want to call it like a celebrity status type person. Because people were just paying thousands of dollars for tickets just to come see if they may hit a home run.
Right.
Most people don't want to sit in the stands or in the bleachers. They want to sit behind home plate, but people were paying thousands of dollars just to sit like out there behind left field or right field just to catch a ball, maybe.
That's awesome.
But no matter what people accuse them of, I mean, they really, after the strike, they really put baseball back.
100%.
Absolutely.
What a wild time for baseball that was.
I mean, I was grouchy about baseball. I was turned off, and that brought me right back in.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like after you lost the World Series in '95,
the Phillies,
93. After you lost that,
some Phillies fan this guy is. Who you bringing to my house here, Sean? Jesus.
Kick him out.
But how could you not stay up till 10, 11 o'clock at night, trying to see if maybe they might hit a home run?
That's exactly right.
So cool.
You were waiting for that last at bat too. Like no matter what, that's awesome, man.
Right.
That's awesome. Now, what about when you came to Philly? You had a decent year with the Dodgers beforehand, and came here as a starter, and it was, okay, you did all right. But then when they moved you to the pen, you were dynamite. Like, and I know nobody wants to move to the pen, but I mean, you were a star that second year with the Phils. Like, what was that transition like? Like, what's that like going from that? What the mentality change of it?
Well, I came to the Dodgers as a setup man for Jeff Shaw, so I really, didn't come to. I really didn't go to LA to be a starter. I was really just asked. Jim Tracy said, "Hey, I mean, we're going to start you because we have nobody else." And I was like, "Okay." I did the minor leagues for a short period of time. I mean, Darren Dreifert got hurt. Andy Ashby got hurt. A couple of guys got hurt, so they had nobody else. So I was like, "Well, I'll do it," and I had some success. I went to Philadelphia as a starter, but my whole career, my success was as a reliever, as a closer, setup man type person. So I went to Philadelphia. I didn't really have a lot of success. I mean, I didn't give them the innings and stuff they needed. And, they had Brett Myers coming up in the wings. And Larry Bowa was like, do you think you would mind stepping back into the, setup man role? And I was like, that's fine or whatever. I know y'all got somebody else. That's fine. But, I've always been more comfortable coming in relief role and giving it all my best, and that's just what I did. That's what I was the guy for.
Nice.
I mean, I've never been a successful starter. I mean, I was in high school, obviously, but I didn't do that well in minor leagues either as a starter. I made my money being a closer or a reliever, so it wasn't really a slap in my face, so to say. I was glad to do it. Brett obviously had a successful career after me, so it's not a big deal.
I mean, and
Nice.
really
Nice.
the biggest thing out of that is, I mean, you never would have been enshrined in the greatest bathroom shrine in the world, you know.
That's right.
Well, that's interesting, Terry, because like we've had Brett on several times. We've established a little bit of relationship with Brett. Actually, he's one of the players I was talking about a few minutes ago. So and Brett has told us numerous times, like, I don't care where you put me. I just wanted the ball in my hands.
Right.
I didn't care you want me to close this setup guy or long reliever, whatever, starter. I don't care. I just want to.
The recordings, I don't care. Give me the effing ball.
Yeah, give me the effing ball.
Yeah,
And
just the competitive nature.
so is that kind of the approach that you kind of took? Like, you don't know like where you're going to be pitching that night. Were you just like,
yeah? Well, the bottom line is, I mean, you're getting paid to play. You're a major league ball player, so. I mean, as long as you're up there making money and getting the ball and pitching a big league ball game, I didn't care where I was,
Right.
as far as that. I mean, nowadays, I mean, the 8th inning and 9th inning are the most important, innings in baseball, because it's so, guys don't go complete games anymore. There's no more Randy Johnsons, Greg Maddux, Smoltz. There's no more of those guys.
Nope.
Right.
They're gonna throw their 6 innings, 7 innings, and they're gonna bolt. So you got to have those 8, 7.
Even
8.
less in the playoffs.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
Yes.
Yeah, there's no doubt. So what are you doing now? You just chasing kids around? Like what's the life like?
I'm doing I'm pitching coach here at the junior varsity at a high school here, and my son plays travel ball, so I do a little bit of that. And so I'm still all in baseball, doing kids, and so that's still kind of my life. Baseball's still kind of what I do.
That's awesome. Now, how far are they traveling? They come into the Philly area so you can come visit the.
No, we don't travel that far. We're Mississippi, Florida, Alabama right now, so we don't come that far.
Man, I don't have a mobile unit yet for the relief room, so
Yeah, you might have to work on that.
So no arrows and deers or.
Yeah, I haven't been to Philadelphia in a while. I go to Chicago about once a year, but I haven't been to Philly, and I want to make a trip up there. I haven't even been back to Boston in a while, but
oh man, you
So,
can hit them both in a long
yeah,
weekend.
I would love to do an East Coast trip and stop by. It's just been a while since I've been able to get away, so to say.
Nice. That's great. Yeah, we need to get you back for like an alumni weekend or something. We can have a whole
Yeah.
I was
a whole
thinking,
relief
yeah.
room party at
I'd love it.
my pool.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
get all the
that'd be awesome.
fellas.
It's like a petri dish, Terry.
Sausage
I mean,
and beer.
I got over 300 guys hanging in this tiny little bathroom, and some of them are dead, but the rest of them are welcome.
Anthony's going to need some relief after that.
That was a revival.
That's right.
Oh man.
Sausage and beer.
Oh man, that's the best. What age group is your son playing?
He's 8.
Nice.
He's an 8U, so.
Oh, cool.
Nice. Ah, that's cool.
So was this something like, just out of curiosity, Terry? Because like my kid's going to turn 7 in May, and he really doesn't have much interest in baseball. We tried getting him in it last year. All he wanted to do was run. So like, was this something that just
Like Forrest.
was this something like, I don't want to put any pressure on you for answering this question, but like, did you kind of pressure him into say, hey, your dad was a baseball player, I think you should like this, or like, did he just kind of take liking to it and just kind of did it?
No, he's always done on his own. He just loves it. He loves but
Nice.
it's just not baseball though. He loves football, basketball, soccer, anything that involves
Oh, that's
he
awesome.
loves.
That's
I've
awesome.
never had to convince him to do anything. So
That's
he knows about me, but he just does his own thing. So
nice.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
That's cool. Now, are you like a memorabilia guy? Do you have like a room with stuff hanging from the career, or is that just like stuff stowed away?
I have a lot of baseballs. Obviously, I have a lot of stuff from my 2004 World Series with Red Sox.
Totally.
Thing. But I do have a ton of baseballs that was kind of my thing. I got a bunch of autographed baseballs.
Nice.
I've kept most of my jerseys and stuff like that. I was a big Dan Marino fan, so I've got like jerseys and helmets and pictures and things of him,
Nice.
and little stuff. So yeah, I've collected some things over the years, personally, I guess, whatever that during that era. I've kind of fallen away from it lately.
Yeah.
We got into the baseball, but it was hard to find some good ones. But
I mean, you must have. I mean, I know when you were with the Cubs, you were teammates with another former Philly pitcher, Amari Telemaco. I'm sure you have a baseball signed of him, right?
I don't know if I asked him for his autograph.
I do a lot of research on guys when I put them in here, and I read that guy.
Yeah.
He worshipped the devil as a kid and like drank goat's blood because that's what his family was into.
What?
Like
What?
now he's like a Christian pastor.
And now he's a pastor.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, that's
No
kind of
That's crazy.
oxymoron, isn't it?
Right? How about that? But yeah,
I knew he had snake oil in the clubhouse.
he had snake oil in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, he was all into like voodoo stuff and everything. There's a great article I read about that. Amari Telemaco. Yeah.
Not the one who's
Yeah.
so far away.
Yeah,
when I
man.
feel the snake bite enter my veins.
Wow, how about that?
I didn't know this was a singing podcast.
Yeah. Now he's got some kind of religious like thing.
Yeah. Yeah, he's full in.
Oral Roberts or something like that.
Exactly. Yeah, he's like evangelical.
Wow. That's insane.
Yeah, speaking of Oral Roberts, they're on the NCAA tournament last night.
Yeah, they lost
My
to Duke.
wife's like, what are they, like a dentistry college or like
Oral
what are
Roberts.
they?
Yeah. Who's Oral Roberts? Yeah. How do I get to meet him?
It's either
Y'all
a
know,
dentistry or like
y'all know Alabama's going to run that thing anyway.
oh, you like Alabama? Okay.
Yeah.
Of course I do.
Could be.
Of course, yeah,
It's not gonna
yeah.
be Arizona.
Nah,
Clearly.
definitely not.
Bracket busters, all right.
I like that. I like that, Terry. Yeah, Alabama definitely
Number one overall.
Yeah, they were a great team all the season, so they definitely have a good shot. So, yeah, I like that pick. I like that
SEC
pick.
was good in the NBA, just like football.
Yeah, right. All of a sudden, right? Alabama's basketball team's good.
Yeah,
So,
right. All of a
Yeah.
sudden.
yeah.
So
How
Terry,
about
with your son playing, do you ever reach out to any like your old teammates or anything, asking for tips or anything? Because dad can't coach the kid. It's always a tough thing. Is there anybody that you reach out to? Like, do you ask Turk about that?
No, I don't.
Nah.
I just go on my own experience. I mean, I've done it enough to where I think I can kind of give him the information he needs. But you're right, though, it's tough to coach your own kids. But
Yeah.
I try not to overwhelm with stuff. But he, like I said, he does a lot on his own. He loves it. So
That's cool, man.
That's
I
awesome.
love it. I mean, a couple of us coach our kids, and it is very rewarding. I have a blast with it. We're playing a tournament tomorrow. I can't wait.
yeah, we got one. Yeah,
Sometimes. Or you want to just
Yeah.
slap them.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sure. That's a given.
Would you catch this fucking ball, please?
Yeah.
Like, how many times do I got to tell you?
Run.
God damn it.
Oh, man. Well, Terry, we really appreciate the fact that you're a part of this podcast tonight. I know it meant a lot to all of us, and especially for Matt. Especially because you're inducted into the Relief Room Hall of Fame.
That's exactly right.
Shall we say? So we really appreciate you taking the time out and calling us tonight, man. So thank you very much, man.
All right, man. Well, you guys be safe, and y'all call me anytime y'all need me.
Nah, you're the
Absolutely.
man. I'll
Thanks
get
so
that. I'll
much,
get that
man.
8x10 going. I'll let you know.
Thanks,
All
brother.
right, y'all take care.
See
All right,
ya.
you too. Take care. Terry Adams calling us tonight. How cool was that, man?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
That
we
was
had-
cool.
Yeah, we had Terry on our show probably about a year or two ago, and it was a lot of fun, man. It was really good dude. We were asking about the vet and all kinds of stuff. What was going on? Scott Rowland and all kinds of crazy stuff. But I dude, that Amari Telemaco thing. Jesus,
That's
Yeah.
right.
That's
That's
awesome.
wild, man.
Dude, I'll tell you the crazy things
I'm
I've
gonna pitch tonight.
right.
Like what's going on out there?
It's great when I find stuff like that because that's pure gold to talk about. Like that
Yeah.
that helps the
You
content
just
and
bring
the
it up
jokes and
you're just
everything.
like, yeah.
Like it's just like did you know he drank goat's blood?
like,
you know,
hell
that
yeah, I
kinda-
fucking knew, but like,
But it's that kind of stuff is pretty awesome. Yeah, bring me one too, Gar. Yeah, hell yeah.
Make a beer run if you're
Yeah.
gonna run out.
It was great. I messaged Wally while we were on, and I
Okay.
told him to push back a couple, and he was cool with it. So he's
Okay.
calling in 5 minutes.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah.
So Terry Adams just called in. We're gonna have Wally Ritchie, former Philadelphia Phillies pitcher, calling in a little bit. We have Scott Eyre calling in a little bit. So this is awesome, man.
Yeah, this is fun.
This is cool, man.
Yeah.
So while we have a little bit of time, and I know we went through this story before, but like, how did this all start, Matt?
Yeah, this started from just general fandom, just being in love with the Phils, and when we won the '08 World Series.
That's right.
Afterwards, my wife and I didn't live here. We lived in North Jersey. We came down for the parade to be with the family and everything. And me and Pops, we always go to spring training together, opening day, the whole thing. Thank you. And we were just so excited about everything.
Yeah.
It was like, well, I want to just keep looking at this picture of Brad Lidge, like this euphoria on his face when he's reaching for the sky, just falling into Chooch is tackling him, like that whole thing. And he was like, I just want to look at this all day, every day. And so he went and cut and printed it out. And I was like, well, let's go. Let's frame it. And I said, dude, the only place Mom's going to let you hang that is in the head. And so we put it in the bathroom. And after that, me and the buddies just started making jokes about it. And it was, he got lonely. So we had to add Tug. And that started the championship wall, was the 2 champions. And then I got to getting like, me and some buddies would go to card shows. Like me and Ken go to card shows together and get the memorabilia.
Yeah.
And there was, like an 8x10 that's hanging in there of Warren Brewstar with the great mustache and like the whole chest hair sandwich coming out of the jersey, like the big sneer. He looks like Randall Tex Cobb, like the whole thing. And it's just, and I would send a message to some buddies joking about it and like, yeah, look at how awesome this is. Before you know it, I started doing it socially on Twitter, and the jokes just wrote themselves really, and that's how it started.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to get Ken on the show tonight too. Like I know he's sitting in the background in the other room. And he's being all shy. He's gonna come on the show later. He's coming on tonight.
Are the Sixers winning, Ken?
Yeah. but yeah, it's
Sixers kicking ass.
It's pretty cool to honor guys that have even just made it to the major leagues. Like I made the cup of coffee joke. Like that guy's one of only 20-some thousand people that have ever made it to the majors, and to be able to celebrate those guys. Just think about the bullpen. The bullpen is separated from the dugout. Like they are separate from the rest of the team. So they have their own home with the pen, but to give them their own home just to strictly honor those guys. I mean, 1, the jokes work, but 2, I just love that. I love that part of it, that positivity, that optimism. That's a big part of the way that I coach. That's a big part of the way I raise the kids, like that kind of stuff. I think that makes all the sense. Yeah. So why not honor somebody that's done it and make some jokes along the way and get to talk to TA, like stuff like that.
Yeah. So this is going to be a tough question for you. In the relief room, what is the number 1 item for you? What's the closest thing to your heart? Is it too hard to call?
It's way too hard to call.
That's like,
that's favorite kid.
What's your favorite?
That's favorite kid.
Yeah,
I mean, there are some amazing things. Like the Phillies groundskeeper gave me that Don Carmen autographed bat that is the handle for the cabinet under there. Like Dick Perez gave me a Tom Hilgendorf. Hand-drawn picture. Yeah. An 8x10 that's up there. Like, dude, look at the Dick Perez. The towels. Look, there's me and Larry Anderson.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Larry Anderson. Look at that. That's a towel.
That's a hand towel.
Crazy.
I like the personalized stuff. I love like Glenn Wilson. Granted, he's not.
Why do you got your finger up Larry Anderson's butt in that picture? Though?
Stop judging me.
Personal stuff again.
One thing about Don Carmen though is I share a birthday with him.
Oh
August
yeah.
14th.
There you go.
Oh yeah. So whatever. It's the first time I ever met Don Carmen, but it was at an event that Matt and I were at in October, and I'm sitting at the bar and I turn and Don Carmen's standing there. I didn't want to geek out. I was like, "Hey man, how you doing?" He's like, "I'm good. I've been better. What's going on?" "Oh, my house just kind of got destroyed in the hurricane." I'm like, "Oh, where are you at?" And he told me Florida. Where are you at in Florida? I'm like, "Oh, my mom has a place down there too."
Yeah.
And boom, like we talked for like 15 minutes about Florida and where to go, and it was so cool, man. It was really, really, really cool stuff, and like he was the nicest guy. So like the whole thing was just really neat, and like I'm like, wow, like I was too young when Don Carmen pitched. Like I'm not going to judge, but you're a little older than me, I think.
No, I'm 1 year younger than Matt, but I remember Don Carmen.
He's older than me too, so
in 1986, 87, and when the Phillies really struggled, but Don Carmen, Bruce Ruffin, and all those guys. And you had a lot of guys like Steve Jeltz and Juan Samuel and Schmitty and Von Hayes, and it was like, where are we going with this team? But it was Philadelphia, and that's just the way it was. We came off the 80 World Series. I was 2 years old in 1983. Still don't remember, but my first real true memory was in 1986. My parents taking me down to a game. It was a kazoo night. We sat up top of the 600 level.
Oh my God!
The 600 level, they were playing the Cubs, and it was just, I fell in love with baseball at that
The
moment.
parents must have hated kazoo.
Yeah, right.
But you know what? My parents may have hated it, but they loved it because I fell in love with the greatest game in the
Right.
world in baseball.
That's awesome.
And I was sold ever since.
Yeah,
I
dude,
walked into the vet, and it wasn't Wrigley Field or Fenway or Yankee Stadium, but it was the vet, and it was our place.
Well, what
And
does
that's
Mike's
where we
what does
went.
Mike's shirt say there?
Yep.
The vet, our concrete toilet, right? That's what it said. It wasn't.
Absolutely.
It was our place. It was our concrete toilet, and that's how it was. So
Stunk.
And
it stunk.
I know this.
Rats.
I know
running
this
around.
might be a song for a different day, but I remember listening to Warren Sapp talking about how it's the most intimidating place to ever play a game ever. And
absolutely.
it is what it is. It was a concrete place where you went in and you did what you did. But baseball, the same thing. It was, guys knew when they flew in and they went past it 2 different times. They fly in,
rough.
it's to your right, and then when you fly in, it's to your right again. You land, and we got to go play there for 3 straight nights. And the fans are going to be the way they are, and people didn't like it, and the home guys didn't like it. But you know what? It was intimidating, but it was our home field advantage.
Yeah.
I mean, our next guest played at the vet.
It sure did. So we have a this is awesome. We have former Philadelphia Phillies relief pitcher Wally Ritchie on the air with us. Wally, how are you, sir?
Good. How are you guys doing tonight?
We're awesome, man. We're having a
Better
blast
now.
tonight. We're having a
Great.
blast tonight.
Yeah, it's great. We just talked to Terry Adams, who played a little after you, but played for the Phils, the Dodgers, the Red Sox, the Cubs. Like, he's a guy we just chatted with. So that was real fun. But
I actually listened in and heard Terry talking, so it was great.
Oh, we love
that's
that.
awesome.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Can you give us a like and a share?
That's
Hey, I will when I'm done, and I saw all you guys in the room, so you can't hide anymore.
that's
awesome.
very cool. That's very cool. Now, Wally, when you were pitching, I mean, did you ever think that you would wind up inducted into a bathroom shrine?
Never in my wildest dreams. But I will say it is an honor because most of us relievers aren't really known. I guess we're not famous,
Right.
and so to be enshrined somewhere is awesome.
That's the best. And I mean, we were just talking about that. Like the bullpen is separate from the dugout. Like you're almost ostracized from the team almost, right? Like just to be able to have your own place. To me, that was part of it. Like let's honor some of these guys. I mean, the jokes were there too. The relieve yourself, the relievers, like the jokes were there, but to honor the guys that aren't always honored. I love the engine that could. Like, give me the little guys.
That's right. Perfect.
Now, Wally, when you played, your whole career was with the Phils. You played almost 150 games, everyone with the Phillies, never had a start. I mean, you are a man after my own heart with this, as far as just being a pure bullpen guy. Was there ever, I know you did a little starting in the minors, but was there ever a thought that, oh man, I wish I was on the bump for 6, 7, 8 innings? Like, what was the mentality like for you?
I mean, you always want to start. We all started as starters.
Sure.
That's what we grew up doing, and you always think you can. And I would plug every spring training. Hey, I can start. Give me a start for ghosts. Let me get in there and start a game. And it was always, no, you're pretty good at what you do. Just stay there.
there, buddy.
Quit bothering us. Know your place and just
stay in your lane. Right.
Stay in the bullpen. Stay away from us and stay in the bullpen.
Now, you mentioned Fregosi. 92 was your last year in the bigs. You bounced around a little bit trying with some minors, but did you see that coming in 93? Like, was that a thing? Like the guys thought like, oh man, this could be a year, or was that completely out of the blue like it was for us?
Yeah, it was for us.
There was a lot of talent. I mean, it was there. Most of it was there in 92, but just how everything came together in 93, because obviously I knew a lot of the players and I'd been there, and how they came together and everything kind of fell into place and they got on a roll, and it was just exciting. I mean, exciting for me as knowing a lot of them, but
sure, knowing
the fans in Philly and how they're into it and just how much excitement was in Philly for what they did.
Now, speaking of the Philly fans there, like, was that something you were warned about before coming in, or did you know about Philly fans? Or, it's obviously become it's been a huge thing forever, but I mean, was that something you knew about coming here?
I mean, you know a little bit about it. You have to remember when I first came to the big leagues in '87, I was young and stupid. I was 21 years old. So I didn't know anything. But I guess the thing with Philly fans, you know what you're going to get. They are knowledgeable. They are behind their team the whole way. And if you do great, they're in your corner and they will cheer for you to no end. But they also understand that if you suck, that they're going to let you know you
they're
suck.
They're going to wear you out, right?
Yeah. And so, you feel bad for making errors, for giving up home runs, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Anyways, but they also feel bad and they're going to let you know about it. So it just goes with it.
Yeah.
And you learn how to deal with it.
So now you said 87, your rookie year, you're 21 years old. We're 2 weeks into the season? What was it, April 18th, 1987? And you're on the team when Michael Jack Schmidt hits his 500th home run. What is that like?
Yeah.
Schmidt is awesome.
Nice.
I mean, just being able to watch him play and be on the field with the Hall of Famer, I mean, it's so great. And he was really, really great to me, always open and friendly and
awesome.
Willing to help and give me advice. And so it was just really an honor to be there. And really with a lot of the guys, because I played with that 87 team. I mean, Steve Bedrosian won the Cy Young. I got to play with Bedrock. I got to play with Teak, who's an icon. And so there were a lot of great players that I got to play with. And so it was a lot of fun.
I just wanted to ask a quick question for you too, I know you played with a lot of great players, but you also played against a lot of great players. And I was just wondering if you ever had an opportunity to ever pick Nolan Ryan's brain, or a guy like Dave Righetti, or guys who we grew up with, seeing play and learning different things from them just by seeing how their work ethic, their how they prepare for games and stuff like that. Did you ever look and talk to any of those guys about how they prepared for situations, knowing how great they were, but at the same time how nervous they probably were moving into different stadiums and going around and seeing different players, and how they would pitch Michael Jack Schmidt and Von Hayes at the time?
Yeah, you watch everybody, you learn from them, you see what they're doing. I talked to a few people over the years about it, but mostly it's through observation. And really, I got the most how to pitch to hitters when I was young. I sat with Mike Schmidt and listened to him talk about it.
Nice.
and learn from the hitters on how to do things, and tap into the people I was around every day, the Bedrocks and the Teaks and Dan Schatzeder, who was left-handed like me.
And that's relief room royalty. What a mustache!
You just lit up Matt's world right there.
Now, are you close with any of those guys still? Do you keep in touch with anybody?
There's a few people I do. Although he's not a relief pitcher, one of my roommates for a long time was Mickey Morandini.
Love
and so we keep in touch with them, and there's a number of people I keep in touch with.
Nice. So when do you get invited for the alumni stuff? Is that something that you're interested in coming and doing?
I haven't been back for any of the alumni stuff. I need to get back to Philly and go to the new ballpark, because I've never been to the ballpark there. Obviously, I need to come visit the relief room.
Clearly.
And,
Yes, you do.
the dog loves it.
Yeah, the dog loves it. Yeah, Gary's trying to bite the dog.
So, I need to get back there. I haven't been back there in a long time.
Nice.
So, Wally, you talked about, we were talking about like who you might have gotten some advice from. Was there anybody you were afraid to pitch to, or like who were some of the hardest guys you pitched against?
Most of the time I was there, I was a lefty specialist, so I'd pitch against Bonds and Strawberry and Will Clark and those guys. And I mean, you don't want to make a mistake to them, but the guys that wore me out, you want to get them out, but the guys that wore me out were like Jose Oquendo and Tommy Herr and Spike Owen. I mean,
Yeah.
the guys that just foul off pitches and just hit a little blooper that goes over the infield, and you're like, oh, yeah.
Isn't that the
I
most
worked so hard to
frustrating?
get you out.
Yeah, and they just wore me out. I mean,
Now
I had
while-
pretty good success against the other guys, but
I looked up a stat, and I saw that you gave up 16 home runs in your career. Do you remember all of them? Are you like that kind of guy that you're like, oh, I remember every one of those jerks, or is it just like part of the gig?
you know, I probably remember a lot of them, maybe not all 16. I know one of them was to Tim Belcher, a pitcher.
Oh, nice.
So,
Tim
you
Belcher,
know,
yeah.
you don't want to say that. One was to Tommy Herr, one was to Steve Sachs. Daryl Boston hit one the last day of the year from the Mets.
Daryl Boston raked, yeah.
Benito Santiago took me deep for a grand slam in the 10th inning in Philly, and that was not a good day.
Oh, that's a downer.
Because I heard it from every single person coming in off the field in the stands. So yeah, I remember a lot of them. But Will Clark took me deep to lose a game in San Francisco. I mean, you remember the bad ones, especially.
Of course, of course.
So obviously playing at the Vet, there was a recent report about the Vet turf and how it had effects. I know this is kind of a dim subject, but I want to get your take on it. You played with some of the guys who were affected by it. Guys like Darren Dalton.
Vuk.
I did.
Yeah, but these, and Vuk, yeah, exactly, Vuk, and these reports are coming back that the Vet was, basically had this, what do they call it, forever chemical in it, and it caused an imbalance, and they were thinking that it might have been the cause of cancer and stuff. So I was just curious to hear your thoughts on it. Like, was this anything that was like maybe not the brain cancer part, but like the fact that the turf, having this like kind of synthetic grass out there, was there any type of inkling of concern or anything like that while you guys were playing on this stuff?
Back then we had more turf fields than grass fields that we played on.
Right.
I mean, because you had the Vet, you had Riverfront, you had the, at St. Louis back then was turf. I mean, every Astrodome, we had more turf fields than grass fields. And, it wasn't so much that, I don't think it was in anybody's mind or thoughts that there's chemicals in these that could cause problems. It's more like your knees get pounded because there's concrete under it. You have seams in them that you get caught on, and you blow out a knee. It was more the physical ailments, I think, that you were worried about playing on the turf, and you didn't realize that there were, the long-term effects from the chemicals that were in a lot of things. So back then you never really even thought about it.
When you guys traded for Lenny Dykstra, and we've had Lenny on our show, let's just say he's a character.
Yep.
What do you have a crazy story about him in the locker room or something where you were like, oh my God, this guy? Like, do you have anything about that era of your career with Lenny Dykstra in the locker room with you?
Not so much crazy in the locker room. I learned not to play golf with him during spring training because I would always lose, and I was never sure how that happened.
So he's a cheater. So he's a cheater.
I pitched against Lenny when he was with the Mets.
Okay,
I didn't say that. And so, you play against him, and you're like, I hate this guy, and then you play with him, and you're like, I love having him behind me in center field because he'll run through a wall and catch everything, and he gets hits and gets on base, and so I saw both sides. I saw the, I can't stand this guy. And then, I'm so glad he's on our team.
That's awesome.
Just because the abilities he had and what he was willing to do to try to win a game.
Like, hire private investigators to follow up around. That was in his book.
Yeah. The like Sean mentioned, crazy antics from Lenny, but like, what was their stuff like in the bullpen? Like, you're passing time here and there. Like, there's got to be some crazy times in the pen, right?
A lot of it's just trying to find a way to stay sane.
Yeah.
Until you get in the game. But we had a lot of characters. I mean, I played with Mitch,
right?
Roger McDowell,
Yeah.
I know one of your favorites, Matt, Tom Hume.
Oh, Mr. Hume.
And so part of it's talking about the game, part of it's talking about whatever's going on outside, part of it's playing stupid games, trying to waste time and stay somewhat involved.
Right. Man,
checking out people in the stands and seeing what kind of food we can get for a new baseball. And hey, the barbecue at Shea Stadium behind the bullpen was excellent.
Oh yeah. So that's great. So guy, I could see McDowell doing that. Be like, hey, you go grab me some barbecue. I'll grab you an autographed baseball here.
Give me a Budweiser and some ribs. I'll go in and strike 3 people
out. I think a lot of people did that.
That's great.
That's awesome.
I totally see that.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I mean, McDowell was a definite character. That guy, he had a baseball card where he went out with the umpires and he had a full tool belt on. I think he was delivering the lineup card with a full tool belt. Unfortunately, it's when he was on the Dodgers. I'd love to have him in a Phillies uniform with that. That's just the funniest thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll never forget the headline of when he left the Phillies. It said Rogers a Dodger.
Yeah. Right. Yep. Rhyme works. Now, Wally, are there any guys that you're still friendly with or you're close with still?
I keep in touch with a few people. Like I said, Mickey Morandini is probably the one I'm closest with. I was really close with, he didn't play for Philly for a long time, but spent time in Baltimore, as Todd Froworth.
Oh, the Fro. I love Todd
Fro and I were really close. He passed away a couple years ago.
Pancreas.
Yep.
I know. That's terrible.
And I run into people still and see people. And so, but those were the two I was closest with, just because I came up in the minor leagues with them and roomed with them and those type of things.
Every morning I get a text from Steve Jeltz. Every morning.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, every morning.
That's awesome.
For true. Yeah, I'm not. Every morning.
He's great.
It's a quote. It's a Bible quote. I'm not a religious person, but whoever it is. But however, even though I'm not a religious person, I still take something out of what he sends me, and I'm like, yeah, I could totally relate that for my day to day, and it's uplifting. It's pretty cool, and like Jets, he's such a great dude, and I would have a feeling he was probably a really good teammate to you guys.
Oh, he's always been a great dude. Yeah, he was shortstop when I came up. He was always good to me.
That's awesome. That is awesome, man. I need your help getting Tom Hume on with me, Wally.
I know. I see you keep asking for glasses.
I do,
and you haven't got them yet. Yeah,
I have the perfect spot for him. I mean, one time he even asked me for my address, and I gave it to him. I thought that was the deal. And then time has gone by, and he hasn't sent anything.
He sent me used condoms instead.
Oh man, I have the perfect spot for him. I think that would be. I mean, I don't need ones that he wears now. I want old ones. The old ones in the drawer. I think that would just be a trip, and that would complete the joke. For me, I think that would be a trip.
Yes, it would.
Wally, we really, really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to be a part of the Corner Pub Sports podcast tonight, and to be a part of the relief room enshrinement on our podcast in the podcast world. So, thank you so much, man. This was awesome. This is so much fun with you.
Hey, it's been great. It's an honor to be on the wall, and I'm enjoying your podcast. So keep it up.
Wally, this is a real treat. Thanks so much for that. I can't wait till you visit.
All right, sounds good. Hey, you guys have a great night.
Thanks. You too. Bye now.
Thanks. Bye.
Wally Ritchie.
Yeah.
That was cool, man. That was awesome.
That's awesome.
That was awesome.
Great
Wally
story.
Ritchie.
That was cool.
Great stuff, right? I mean, Schmitty's 500th and stuff at the vet.
Yeah.
Dude, Roger McDowell asking for barbecue in the bullpen. I mean,
Yes.
No, but just hearing him say how he would ask the hitters,
right? How cool is that?
What the other pitchers were doing,
Right, to get stuff from
just
Schmitty
thought that
about
was a really cool.
That's super cool.
From Hall of Fame guys that can get guys out.
Right.
It's just really cool seeing how guys really collaborate in a dugout and they talk baseball the entire time about different things.
I mean, that's what we try teaching our kids, right? Like, let's talk to each other, and they're like, "Hey, look at that sunflower seeds, jerk, 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 whatever it is, But that's what it is. You talk to those guys, especially the ones that are so successful. Obviously, Schmitty's the top of the heap, but that's awesome stuff.
But even like with your kids and my kids, and we see them when they're playing, they're talking baseball.
Yeah.
But they're 11 and 12 years old, and they're still doing the same thing that these big league guys are
right.
doing. It's just unbelievable to me it's just they're grown men playing a kid's game, and it's awesome.
And it's the
I just
best.
love it. So
And they're
cool.
doing all the same things. It's awesome. Yeah. Wally Ritchie, what a thrill.
That was
awesome.
That was awesome.
That was great.
Man, this
So-
relief room first.
Little bit of off baseball information here. Breaking news: second number 16 team has won a game.
No way.
Tell me,
Anyone want to take a guess?
UCLA.
Purdue got beat.
Dickinson beat Purdue.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Dickinson beat
Brackets
Purdue.
are
Purdue
done.
is not playing.
Oh,
Going down.
wow.
63 to 58.
Brackets are done.
What was it,
Dickinson.
62 to 58?
Yeah, Purdue got Dickinson.
You know
They
the
got
beauty
Dickinson.
is I had Duke going to the Final Four.
Did he really?
Duke's the hottest team in the country right now.
I know.
They are.
Ew.
Yeah, I know, right?
I just couldn't do it.
Ew.
I couldn't do it.
I'm
Couldn't
not
do
a
it.
Duke fan,
No,
but I had to
nope.
pick them because you're playing hot, man.
Yeah, I guess.
Should we see if Scotty can call
He
him a
just
little?
texted me. He said he'd give it a couple minutes. He's,
Oh, okay,
he's
cool.
taking the pooches out.
Oh, all right, cool.
So-
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe you can call him a little earlier.
Yeah.
Nah, this
I
is
cannot
awesome, man.
believe that Purdue. Wow.
Yeah, how about that, man?
That's its second or third time? Second time.
Second
huh?
time ever that a
But,
one
uh,
lost to a 16. Yep.
Wow.
The first time was
It was Virginia.
Just a couple
Yes,
years
it
ago.
was
And
5
they
years
won,
ago.
And
Yeah.
they won it the year after. Didn't they?
Yes,
Yeah,
they
you're
did
right.
Yeah.
because nobody in their right mind took Virginia to win it after that
Absolutely.
year.
Yeah.
Everybody was like,
Absolutely.
"Fuck them! They're out in the second round." No, I'm not doing it. And then they won it, and
The fix is in. The
Yeah.
fix is in.
Nah, how about
and-
that?
they screwed you 2 years in a row,
And of
and I'm
course,
still bitter.
for the two people that listen to us regularly, don't worry, we'll get to the Eagles free agency when we get some time. But tonight's a special night. We're not doing that. We got weeks to talk about free agency and what the
Yeah.
Eagles did.
Yeah,
I
like,
mean, this
This
is-
Darius Slay
great.
contract's a
But the
good
one thing-
contract.
Yeah,
Th-
well, you
This
know,
is St. Patrick's Day. It's the first
Relief
weekend
room.
of the NCAA tournament, and Terry Adams, Wally Ritchie, and Scott Eyre are calling in to talk ball. You know what I mean?
The other
Like-
really cool
So
thing
why-
that is
Yeah, go
that
ahead.
you told me this week is that you got stuff from Citizens Bank Park's bullpen.
Yeah,
I think
Did you
you
really?
need to get
Yeah.
into that.
I
man.
did. I didn't show you guys this yet.
No.
Uh-oh.
Why are you
Dude.
taking your pants off?
Yeah, wait, no, you know.
No, no good. Not yet.
Not
Wait,
yet.
wait till
another two.
another
beers.
beer too.
Another
Oh,
beers.
zip
No,
up.
what you got?
I got stuff from the bullpen that was the lineup cards. I got probably 25 lineup cards from the bullpen that were, just all marked up from the
Right.
bullpen coach and whatnot. So
Right.
I got a whole mess of those. And then I got the stat sheets, the laminated stat sheets that they're using where it's got the whole the grids, right? Where the batters versus our pitchers, and then the flip side is vice versa, and
No
all their
way.
numbers against them. It's because I got to be friends with the same guy that sent me the Don Carmen bat, sent me all this stuff. He sent me,
That's
dude,
awesome.
it is so cool. Ken and I were sitting the other night just looking at them, just going through
Dude,
them
that's
all.
so
And
cool.
you're
And
just
it's
like
stuff
you're
from-
looking up stats, and you're just like,
You're
"Hey, wife,
whoa,
you're
wait
the
a
math teacher. Like,
Yeah.
calculus this." Yeah.
Yes, exactly. But it was stuff from 16, 17, 18, like some dim years. But then stuff from last year too, and just the whole lineups, and then just just the markings on the thing with the bullpen guys, and just some of the stats that are written on there and things. Like it's game used stuff, and
That's
just
so
that
cool,
that's
man.
just the cool stuff, and
It's
it's
the
just
analytics.
and it's just so neat to get the game used analytics
Yes.
of it, right? And
That's
to
awesome.
have somebody go, you know what, let's send it to this guy. you know?
Yeah.
Like that's just the coolest because he knows how much I appreciate it.
Yeah. Dude, that's awesome, dude.
I told Scotty to call, not to FaceTime.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So here we are. My wife worked for the Phillies, and she was there in 2008 when they won the World Series, so she's got a ring. This guy's getting fucking lineup cards and fucking analytics. Like what?
No, but it's all because of one thing that he decided to do with his dad.
Which
and
is so cool.
Where he put it, and it grew into this
That's-
shrine. And,
It's so awesome.
and it's unbelievable. And I tell him all the time because I went to high school with him, and we rekindled a relationship the last
Yeah.
4 years through Little League and our kids. And it's just been awesome just seeing how all that he's done to make this really cool. And it's not like he's trying to get.
No, he
fame or
wasn't
anything.
doing
It just
it.
happened.
It just happened.
It just
Organically
happened.
happening.
And I'm going to take his word. It's bananas. And he always says it's bananas every time I tell him, I talked to Scott Eyre, or I went and I saw Ron Reed. And
Dude, he's got a
different guys.
Who is that that's got the Rambo with the baseballs instead of the bullets?
It's Glenn Wilson.
That's Glenn Wilson.
Glenn Wilson.
Yeah.
That's Glenn Wilson with the Rambo baseball.
He relief
ammo.
pitched in one game.
Yeah.
I think they ran out of pitchers and he had to throw.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
That's fucking badass, dude. He's got some awesome pictures in here, man. And he's got room for more. He's
It's
definitely
like
got
a
room.
trip down. Like you look through it, and it's like a trip down memory lane.
It
like,
totally is.
There's dudes on here. Like honestly, I forgot about. Like
For sure.
Or you didn't even know about.
yeah,
Yeah.
Some of
That's
those
the
I'm
other
like,
key. Like I was looking at that rated rookie. I don't even know who that is from 1987.
So
It's just some random guy who I don't know who he found.
so I think my favorite item in this relief room is, so anyone that's familiar with the history of baseball knows that there's a picture of the first 8 or 9 guys who entered the Hall of Fame, right? He's got a picture replicating that image. However, it's the faces of the first 9 guys that he inducted, or first 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 guys, 11 guys that were inducted into the
Wow.
relief room Hall
How
of
do
Fame.
you pull it off?
Well, he photoshopped. So like that's supposed to be Connie Mack there.
Right.
That's Babe Ruth back there, right? I think that's Babe
Oh,
Ruth.
no shit.
Yeah, so he changed their faces.
That's awesome.
Babe
So the
Ruth is the
first
Steve
10
Perdosian picture.
Yeah,
Steve
yeah.
I
Who's
always
sitting
loved
right
that.
there
Yeah,
up
yeah,
front.
that's Babe
That
Ruth
would've
right
been
there.
Babe
Yeah,
Ruth
That's
right
I
right
always
there.
loved that name.
Ty
Steve.
Cobb, right? Ty Cobb was
That's
I don't know
awesome.
who's on the picture, but I do know it's not
Yeah,
relief room guys.
Mitch
It's-
Look
Williams.
at Mitch Williams. That's awesome, dude. God, it's so amazing. That's my favorite picture in the
Yeah, I
And that-
agree.
and like and the crazy part about it is like that's homemade, right? Like he had that doctored or whatever. Like it wasn't sent in to him. It wasn't an autograph item. He made that. That is so creative to me.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's funny because him and we go to these memorabilia shows, and the Philly show was last weekend, and I was there looking for some 1952 Topps Phillies guys, and his friends are looking for some other guys, but he's looking for relievers. He's looking for Philadelphia Philly relief stuff.
Yeah.
And where you have all these guys are going in, they're looking to spend $5-10 grand on Mickey Mantles and Roberto Clemente's or Willie Mays.
He's like, nah, I want to take
Matt's
it to
looking
Portland.
for literally a 1956 relief pitcher.
Yeah.
The guy who
from the
gave me
Phillies.
47
And
innings.
That's what's really cool about this
Yeah.
whole thing is that
Yeah.
he's just really trying to
It's
do something special.
It's so unique. That's what makes it great.
Yeah, he
And
wants
what's
a guy.
uniqueness?
He
And the
wants
other-
a guy with 47 career innings, 48 strikeouts. Like and that's awesome, man. It's so cool.
And what's funny is in
Yeah.
Happero, growing up, they had this. It was a Philadelphia Athletics memorabilia shop, and they had some Philly stuff
In Happero.
in Happero,
Yes,
right
I
there on
know
the corner
well,
there
yeah.
where the ski shop is. And
Yeah.
but he now brought something back to the Happero Horsham area where that Philadelphia Athletic Club left. But he's got the relief room, and it's the only one in the country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
but it's all about the Phillies and nobody
Yeah.
else.
Well, like I said, my wife is, her great grandfather was Connie Mack, so I'm very familiar with that store, and we walked through it several times looking for stuff. So, but anyway, we're gonna welcome our next guest. Probably the worst guest of the night. Let's be honest. I mean, probably the worst guest we'll have ever on this show. Now,
Show just took a turn.
No, he's the man. I love him. We all love him dearly. Mr. Scott Eyre, welcome to the show, brother.
What's up, all my drinking buddies?
Fucking right, man. What's going on, dude? How are you?
How much? I'm so mad. My son was dog sitting for the day at our neighbor's house. They went to Charleston for the weekend, little getaway, and then I'm gonna stay the night over here. And they have 2 dogs, and one of their dogs is like on what was the over the hedge, the squirrel that drank the energy drink? That's what this dog is like.
Oh no,
dude, I remember that. That's exactly right.
Oh my God.
Oh, no. Oh boy. So you got your hands full for sure.
No, I'll probably go to bed in about an hour or so. I'll probably settle down at some point tonight. But they also have like what did we decide, 14 or 15? Like a 14 or 15-year-old dog that basically just sits on the couch next to you and doesn't make a peep. And this one's holding a ball next to me and it's staring at me. His name is Zelda, or her name is Zelda. She does spin. You ever seen a dog spin in circles?
Oh, the zoomies, yeah.
Yeah, she does it all the time. It's craziness.
Now you said you talked about your son. Where's your son go to school?
Yeah, so my oldest son and my younger son both go to Purdue. And I walked in the house and I said to Jacob here, he's sitting here. I go, did you know Purdue's about to lose or they already lost? And he goes, no. You've been to what, one sporting event or two? He's been to 3 football games in his time, but never anything else. He's not really into the sports, and like he'll watch NFL Red Zone all day on Sundays, but pretty much he'll watch some baseball here and there, but not really the Purdue sport or anything. Now my older son is down in Florida, Caleb, and he had some friends over to the house, and I think they were drinking beers and making some food and watching the game, and I'm pretty sure there was some stuff thrown.
Yeah, there were some things smashed there. That's
sure.
That's
How about that?
Sure.
Maybe the first team ever, the second team ever to lose to a 16.
Yeah.
Now you've got a 1, 2, and a 3 seed that have lost though.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
It's nuts.
insane.
It's crazy.
You know, I had a feeling this was going to be this way because this year just seemed a little wacky. Like this whole
There was no clear cut top 4 teams.
So
I don't think there was any clear cut team that was head and shoulders above anybody. I don't even watch that much basketball.
Well, I thought Arizona was, but you know how that went. So,
Arizona. You know what's funny?
So Scott, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say a long time ago in spring training, I believe it was with the White Sox, and Arizona was a 2 seed and they lost to the 15 seed.
I remember that.
Yeah, and I think half the guys in our locker room had Arizona in the Final Four. I remember everybody coming in the next day going, "Let's just do another poll and start over."
I had them winning the whole thing this year.
Ooh.
Oh, you got Duke winning it?
No, I had Arizona winning.
Oh, that away.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So yay me.
Yeah. Hello.
Scott, I got a quick question for you. So this was literally right before the pandemic happened, I believe. It was probably like a week before it happened.
When Scotty came here.
And I happened
that's when I was there.
I happened to see you at the Philly card show the next day. And
that's what I was up there for.
I remember standing in line, and I think I was second or third. And I walked up and I said, "Hey, Scott, I heard you were at my buddy's house last night hanging out all night." And you literally stopped. You dropped your pen. You were going to sign my ball because I had this 2008 ball that I'm getting signed by as many guys as I can from the 2008 World Series team. And you literally stopped and you looked at the lady next to you who was in charge of like taking the tickets and stuff. And you gotta hear about this place I was at last night. And it was really funny because I was like, and I literally texted Matt literally after I had you sign the ball. And I said, I just asked Scott about the relief room. It's awesome. And he stopped traffic for like 5 or 6 minutes telling this lady next to him about the relief room. And it was just awesome. But I just
it's freaking awesome, isn't it?
It's cool.
It's the greatest thing ever. But I literally
I
was so excited to tell Matt that I just told Scott. Awesome. I heard you were at my buddy's house.
I think the goal should be to get every team in Major League Baseball with some fan that does the relief room to their team's relievers.
I mean, I think so too.
Because let's face it, relievers are a dying breed nowadays.
Scott, you put your autograph on somewhere that somebody's going to eventually have their ass.
My ass was there first, so it's okay. So they're gonna sit on my ass in a sense.
That's exactly right. I mean, I reached out to the Baseball Hall of Fame and said, "Hey, listen, there's your hall. You're the apex. You're the greatest Hall of Fame. But their bathrooms are just boring. They're just plain old vanilla colored. Like."
Oh, that's gross. I've never been there. I want to go someday.
Ah, dude, we should take a road trip, dude. We should do that. We should go to the Hall of Fame. I'm in.
Too.
I'll drive. Nice, dude. I reached out.
We'll meet at the real relief room and then go to New York.
You're damn right. That's a hell of a road trip right there. I'm signing. I'm writing it down.
Is that far? I don't want to be in the car too long.
It's like 4 hours. It's like 4 hours. Like 4.
Oh, 4 hours, no big deal.
That's nothing. No, it's not like 12 or anything.
No, that's easy.
Yeah, that's easy. But I'm like, dude, I will design your bathrooms. I'll do it team centric. Like I'll do.
Oh yeah.
I'll do the Raleigh fingers and the mustard browns for the pods. Like I could do all this great stuff, and they never responded to me.
That's because they're boring and they suck.
You're damn right.
That's all right. They haven't responded to people like Barry Bonds or The guys who deserve to be in.
Well, that's a great segue because you played with Barry in San Francisco, and obviously Hall of Famer. But like Jeff Kent and Kenny Lofton and other guys were there too. Like, obviously with Barry, you're like, yeah, you're out of this world. But like guys like Kent and Lofton, and even like when you were with like the White Sox, Frank Thomas and now Harold Baines. Like, did you look at those guys and go, yeah, those guys they're the top. They're the ones. Was that
So my very first big league spring training was in 97 in Sarasota with the White Sox, and I get the privilege to sit in the locker next to Harold Baines.
Nice.
And then I looked around and I realized why I was next to Harold Baines, and I think there was a couple other guys right near me that were veteran guys, and I realized why, because I'm only going to be here a week, and then Harold's going to get his second locker back.
You're like, why am I wearing number 97?
Oh, I actually had 56.
Nice.
Wasn't too bad, but I did get to sit. I did sit there and listen to Harold was talking to media every morning, just about talking to different reporters and stuff. Just bullshitting and talking and having a good time. Not really like, nothing in depth or anything, and I sat there and listened to the way he spoke, and I kind of learned some stuff. And
nice.
There's one morning I got there, and he was always there by 6:15, and he was early. And for some reason, I got there early one day, and I sat down. And he came in right after, like literally 10 seconds after me, and he looks at me and goes, "Don't ever get here before me again."
Oh, no way!
And he was totally joking, but the way he said it, I was like, "Okay."
Wait a minute, is he messing with me or?
Oh yeah, no, he was actually really, really cool guy.
That's awesome. Now on those White Sox teams, at least for a year or so, was Albert Bell.
Oh yeah, no, I was there. He was there a few years with me. When I got called up in '97 in the white flag trade, Bell was there. But we had Albert Bell, Robin Ventura, Jamie Navarro,
that was a crazy
Frank
team.
Thomas,
right?
Like what do you call it? Who?
Albert Bell.
Oh, he was awesome. He was, he gets that rap that he didn't like the media didn't like him. Sure. He was just so intense when it came to game time.
Yeah.
And he took a lot of flack, when he was younger. People forget that he changed his name from Joey Bell to Albert Bell, or Albert. I think he went to Joey to Albert.
Joey to Albert. Yeah.
But he didn't. He had some alcohol issues, I believe, when he was younger too.
Don't we?
When I was with him. Well, yeah, we just sometimes. We just don't admit it.
Younger, right? Yeah.
Yeah, younger. But like he was a great teammate.
Nice.
He was a great team. Everybody was Meat. What's up, Meat?
Oh, that's a perfect name for him.
Oh, he used to call everybody Meat. Remember Jeff Abbott, right fielder?
Yeah.
Kentucky, was a really good hitter, decent outfielder. And he used to look at Jeff Abbott all the time and go, "What's up, Meat?" He sat in the corner and played video games all the time too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they played some baseball game. I don't even know what it was back then. It was past Sega, so I'm assuming it was
like RBI baseball or something.
No, it's probably one of those where the screen doesn't change, the background doesn't change, and it's just that black thing that just moves.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Now you were also, when you were with the Cubs, you were teammates with Greg Maddux. I mean, was that guy as smart as everybody thinks he was?
I got the privilege to spend just half a year with him because he got traded that August to the Dodgers.
Yeah.
So, but I tell people there was, I have to actually, my head coach here, I coach baseball in South Carolina now at Landrum High School, and I'm my head coach, and he's a huge baseball fan, and I tell him one night we're sitting, my first year coaching, so 3 seasons ago, we're sitting at his house and we're having some bourbon outside his parking lot, and because we just won our region and we were going to the playoffs and blah blah blah.
Nice.
And we're sitting out there, they're telling stories about this and that, and I said something about Greg Maddux. He goes, "Oh," he goes, "Get out of here." I go, "Well, I got his number. I can text him." And by the way, I'm thinking, Doggy, Greg's not going to text me back. I text him that, "Hey man, I'm sitting here with my high school coaches, and I'm telling a story about, I told them the story about when I was in Milwaukee right before the All-Star break, right before he got traded in August, after the All-Star break, I mean. And I'm in the bullpen, and he's pitched, I think, the day before or something. So he's not pitched. He's in the bullpen with all of us, just hanging out. And he looks up at the scoreboard, and he's like, "There, ear guy." He called me ear guy. Ear guy.
Ear guy.
He goes, "I bet money you face Prince Fielder in about the 7th or 8th inning there." And I'm like, "Well, most likely." Sure enough, this 6th inning rolls around, and he's going to bat like third or fourth the next inning. And they say, hey, get up in case he comes to the plate. So I get up when the inning starts, and I'm more, stop, Zelda. She's spinning again. She's going to drive me nuts. I wish I could video this for you guys. She's making me dizzy. Stop.
And he called you ear guy. I love that.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's what Glenn and Rush always called me, ear guy. So Maddox is looking at me and he goes, how do you pitch to this guy? And I go, usually, breaking balls away, fastball away, and then try and get him to chase one. He goes, why don't you do this tonight? And he tells me, like, go first pitch fastball in or something. I don't remember exactly what he told me, but I did exactly what he told me to. And 3 pitches later, he struck out and swung at an ugly slider away.
Nice.
I turned around and looked at the outfield after the inning because there was the third out. And I turned around and looked, and Maddox is standing up with his hands in the air like, I told you so.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I'm telling this story to my head coach and the other coaches, and he's like, oh, my. So I text Maddox, and I'm like, you remember that time you did? He texts back. He goes, I do. You should listen to me all the time or something. And they're like, they were in awe, and they're just like, oh, my God, there's no freaking way he just texted you back. And I'm like, well, it's 11 o'clock here. He's in Arizona. It's only 9. He's probably, just coming off the golf course or what. But it was pretty funny that he texted me right back. And I was like, oh, thank God. That made me feel so cool.
Yeah, right. That's awesome.
That is so awesome.
Hey, Scott,
Oh,
real
God,
quick question. I know we were
Yeah.
talking about Greg Maddux, but I had an opportunity one time to talk to someone who knew Tommy Green, and they were talking about how he would take every opportunity he could to talk to Greg Maddux. And one of the things that Greg Maddux would always talk about is manipulating the baseball. And one of the great players that he loved to do it against was Lenny Dykstra, because he knew he would foul off 10 pitches and really be able to. And it was one of those situations where he could go into the dugout and say, oh, I saw this and that and that. But it was really just 4 or 5 different variations of a fastball. Is there any guys that I know you talked about Greg Maddux. Is there any other guys that you would sit down and really talk to, especially being in a relief role, because it's different? It's pressure. You need to get outs. You need to find a way to get guys out of the game.
Dan Plesac.
Plesac. Okay.
Yeah. Plesac. I always say Plesac was a mentor type to me, because when I first was in the big leagues with the White Sox and then the Blue Jays, I was up and down, up and down. I was basically, I was deemed, somebody once said, well, you're basically just too good for AAA, but you're too good for AAA, not good enough for 4A, meaning the big leagues.
Yeah, right.
I did very well in AAA every time I went down, and then I get to the big leagues and just struggle. Obviously there's a big difference in AAA and the big leagues. They're really good in the big leagues. And I was, a little nervous and stuff. And I got to Toronto, and in the bullpen I had Lance Painter, Pedro Borbon, and Dan Plesac.
Okay.
So I had 3 really good lefties in the bullpen, and Plesac would sit and talk about stuff after games to Halladay and Carpenter and Steve Parrish, and they're all sitting just talking about different stuff. And I'd be warming up for a game and going into playing the Twins back then, going in to face David Ortiz. And his line was, he don't like to walk. He's up there to swing. And David Ortiz did walk actually quite a bit, but and his phrase sometimes, and maybe it's not politically correct, but you can't walk off the island.
Yeah.
Right. Taking that for whatever you mean. But so he's like telling me how to warm up in the pen, because I would just throw fastball, get loose, and then throw some sliders. He'd go, no. Warm up how you're going to face the first hitter, because you have to get that sucker out.
Yeah.
And after that, and then he got traded to Philly a little while after that. And I started taking that stuff to heart, and then the coolest thing ever, I think I told Matt about it once, maybe not, but Plesac actually wrote me a letter in the off season. I got it at my house, dude. Like, who does that shit?
Right.
Like, wrote me a letter about, you're too good for AAA. You struggle in the big leagues, but you got to do this. You got this stuff. So, trust your stuff. Believe in yourself. Is what he used to say. Believe in yourself and trust your stuff, and the rest of the shit will take care of itself.
That's pretty cool.
Now, did you have a
cool.
routine? You hear about the starters. They had the routine. They do their thing. But as a reliever, do you have a routine, or is it just give me the ball and I'm going to go get outs?
A lot of times it was give me the ball and I got to go get outs, because you didn't have a whole lot of time.
Right.
Sure.
There was one game in Colorado where I was with the Giants. Felipe Alou had forgot that Dave Righetti had already been out to talk to the pitcher. Well, Felipe didn't. No one was warming up, So Felipe
no.
Felipe goes to the mound for the second time. He's got to take the pitcher out.
Right.
No.
So they're calling down there real fast, and they're like, who I literally, Mark Gardner answers the phone, and he's like, Brower, you got to get up and get, whatever. And he's like, I got to warm up. And I grabbed my glove, and I yelled, I got this. And I ran in the game. 0 warm-up pitches.
Oh,
No.
0 warm-up pitches.
Well, you got
I get to the mound, and Felipe was mumbling something. And I think it was Rich Aureli. He goes, were you even warming up? And I'm like, nope. I've been sitting there for 8 innings. It's freezing cold.
Let's go.
I throw my first warm-up pitch as hard as I can in front of 30, 40,000 fans. And I'm like, oh my God, that hurt. So I ended up throwing like 6 fastballs, and so I tried to spin a slider. I don't remember how many pitches I really threw, but in my mind, I threw like 2 pitches and got the guy to pop up and walked off the mound thinking, wow, that just happened.
Hell yeah.
But most of the time you had a little routine. I did once I took what Plesac told me years before. I took that to heart and thinking, all right, I'm going in to face Joey Cora. I got to get him. You got to be able to hit the fastball in, because he's just going to slap some stuff to the right, or if you miss middle, he's going to take you deep. Joey's secret power like that. So you had to hit some fast, and I didn't pitch in a whole lot, but things like that, you kind of just start warming up to the hitter you're about to face. And the best part of it though was if you had a bullpen catcher or bullpen coach like Mick Billmeyer, and I had some good ones, Mark Gardner and a couple other guys, and Lester Strode in Chicago, but Billmeyer was by far the best, because he'd stand there. First of all, he'd be telling jokes all game long. He was hilarious, dude. The man's awesome. I love him to death. But then you get to the game, you get warming up. He's like, hey, most likely they're going to pitch this little son of a bitch. And that's what he called it. He goes, they're going to pitch hit this guy if you're facing this lefty. Are you going to face him? So I actually knew, I was informed in the bullpen because of some things like that. So you change your routine a little bit. But, there was times where if you're the long guy in the pen, like a Durbin probably had a nice routine, because usually they said, hey, you're going to have the 5th. And he got to warm up and get ready. And he had his nice routine because he was going 3 innings probably. My tired ass was just going to face one hitter.
That's a good leeway, because I was going to ask Scott, because like the Phillies right now this year, it seems like they're going to be going kind of with a kind of
a committee.
Thank you. Yeah.
I mean, they got some pretty good arms
They
now.
do. But like, do you think that's tough? Like, I don't know. To me, like as an outsider looking in, I don't know if you know this, Scott, but I never pitched in a major league. So,
weird.
Isn't that weird? I know it's a shock to everybody. But
so weird.
That's why I invited you here. Damn it.
Even though I'm a lefty, I could have probably been a specialist.
I thought you were an Eagles quarterback as well. What are you doing?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Some people mistake him for Joe Flacco.
Yeah, they do.
Don't he look like Joe Flacco? Don't he?
I see a little more Matt Ryan than I see Joe Flacco.
Yeah, Matt Ryan. Yeah, that's all right. Someone at work said I look like Peyton Manning. I'm like, fuck
what?
you.
No.
Peyton Manning's like 6'8".
I don't have a 5 head.
Yeah, the 5 head.
I don't
That's
have
for
a 5
sure.
head.
You don't look like Bonk. Yeah.
But anyway, I have a dick like Nick Foles, so but anyway,
there's the beers.
Yeah, there it is.
Proof. Oh my God.
Oh man.
Anyway, I forgot what the fuck. Now I remember. So,
we got off. That's our first time off track all night.
Yeah, it was. So Scott, is it because the Phillies are going to be going in a position where it's
Scott? I got a big dick now. Listen to my question.
Where it's pitcher by committee, closer by committee, setup man by committee.
Yeah.
You think that's difficult? Like you're going to the ballpark every night and you don't know where you're pitching. Like to me, like on the outsider looking in, that's what I was kind of alluding to.
I think it's really hard because like in the year in Philadelphia, we all knew our roles.
Yeah.
If it was 5th, 6th, 7th inning, it's with me, Durbin, Condrey, maybe more me, Durbin. And then when it got to the 8th, 7th, and 8th, it was Madsen, Romero, and Lidge. And if there was a lefty that I did well against in the 8th, Romero pitched in the 7th. That was the only difference for us.
Okay. Yeah.
But if you have the guys with the right temperament, like Kimbrel's been a closer, and who else did they sign? And
Soto.
The other 2 guys, Soto. He's been a closer, and they all started as setup guys.
Yeah.
I think honestly, it is harder because you don't know your role. But if you accept that you may pitch the 7th, 8th, or 9th, you just change your routine a little bit. and say, I'm going, or it's you right now. Let's go. If you're, and it sounds weird, but you're supporting everybody, and they're behind you, and you kind of know that day when you might pitch. I'm assuming they're going to say, hey, you might be setting up today, or I don't know how they're going to do it by numbers, most likely today with analytics and everything. They'll be like, but I mean, if you got 3 guys that have been legit closers, especially Kimbrel and Soto, then it makes it a little easier. Especially now, you don't have to worry about someone like me coming in facing 1 or 2 hitters and then bringing someone else in. Which, by the way, I'm all for the pitch clock and the new rules, and I don't really
into this at all. Yeah.
But I'm not a fan of a. It doesn't make the game any faster to make a reliever face 3 hitters.
I agree.
I really don't.
Yeah,
I really don't think it
It
makes
takes-
it any faster.
It takes an art from the game and like a left-handed specialist, a right-handed specialist.
Yes. Well, it takes a little bit of strategy, and the
Strategy
manager,
for
both
sure.
managers,
Yeah.
out of the game, and that I like that chess game part of it.
Yep.
But it is what it is, and like I like the pitch clock. I think the hitters are getting screwed
Agreed.
more than pitchers.
I think so too.
Especially when you get someone like Scherzer holding the ball for 12 seconds.
Yeah. He's
already
awesome.
figured out how to
He's awesome.
manipulate it.
Oh man. But I never liked the shift. Because if I'm a pitcher, like I said, if I'm coming in, I'm facing like a Luis Gonzalez, or I'm coming in and I'm facing Ryan Howard. And for some reason, Ryan one day just flicks one into left field or through the third base line where nobody's standing anymore. That would piss me off.
Yeah.
Because he did his job and I did my job. That should be an out.
Right.
But I also don't think they should have banned it.
I completely agree.
I
I don't like the shift, but don't tell me I can't do it.
You want to play 7 guys in right field? Go ahead.
Right.
Like
Exactly.
Go ahead.
And if Joey Gallo can't hit a ball to left field, and you put all 9 guys, 7 guys, you're right.
Yep.
On the right side of second base, and he makes an out and hits 140 all year.
Yep.
Then figure out how to hit better.
Right.
Exactly.
But I'm not a fan of I do like the fact that who was it that was it the Yankees or the Braves or someone that brought their left fielder over there? Who was that? They said no, we'll just mess your whole system up. We'll do a shift like this.
It was Tampa. Of course it was.
Oh god.
Tampa.
Yeah.
Of course it was Tampa. Oh my god.
Real quick, Scott, if you ever had a bad night in Philadelphia,
how much did you drink afterwards?
Not even that. Not even that. It would be like who would come in and talk? Would Charlie say anything to you, or would it be the pitching
Was
coach?
it Doobie?
Or would it be even like a Chase Utley or Jimmy Rollins come in and just give you a pat on the ass and be like, "Hey, we all have bad nights."
So you could look it up. In 2009, there was a game against the Nationals.
Yeah.
I came in. We were up by 3 or maybe 3 runs, 2 or 3 runs, and I came in and faced the first batter was a righty. And then it was, I believe, Adam Dunn, and then a righty, and then Brian Johnson, the old first baseman, and then a righty.
Yeah.
Well, I walked the righty, give a homer to Dunn, walked the righty, give a homer to Johnson, and walked the righty, all before Charlie could even get somebody in the game. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, I'm going to tell you the best part of the whole story is Raul Ibanez hit a 3-run homer the next inning, and I got nothing. I didn't even have to talk to the media after the game because nobody remembered. But I got booed off the field deservedly,
Yeah.
But Charlie was walking around the clubhouse after, and he kind of walks by me, and he looks at me and goes, "That wasn't very good tonight, was it?" And I thought, no. I said, "No, you know what? That was freaking awful, Charlie. I felt like crap." Because but I'm happy we won the game.
Now,
and he said something like, isn't that what it's all about? And I said, yeah. But the best part of the story now is the next day I came in to face both lefties. There was no righty between them. For some reason, I don't remember if Cole was pitching and they've had the 2 lefties back to back, or if a righty was pitching and they took the righty out. But he brought me in the next day. Now I don't remember the score. We could have been losing by 6 or who knows. But I got them both out. Okay. And the inning was over. I came in, there was 1 out, and I got them both out, and I got a standing ovation from everybody behind the dugout.
Nice.
And I thought, this is the coolest place ever because they boo you when you don't do your job, rightfully so.
And they love
sometimes
you.
it can be a little harsh. I get it, but I got a huge ovation after I got the same 2 guys that hit bombs the night before out, and some of the media came over to ask me something. As soon as they got to my locker, I go, "Huh. Where were you guys last night when I sucked?" And one of the reporters.
We're talking about Raul.
One of the reporters' name was Mandy Housnick, and she was awesome. She was a really nice reporter. sweet lady. She had a few kids now. I've talked to her on Facebook. She's doing awesome.
Nice.
No more reporting. But, she just started laughing because she's the only one that came over the night before. And I go, well, what do you want to know? How bad I sucked or how bad I sucked?
Now, is there anything you did the next day? And the only reason why I'm asking is because I took our family down. We went down when Bryce Harper was traded or signed with the Phillies, not traded, obviously,
Okay.
signed with the Phillies. And we went down and we were sitting out in right field and we saw Sean Doolittle out in right field in the bullpen. And he had a really bad night the night before. And he was doing some mechanical stuff. And he was
I didn't do anything.
And he was throwing on air. No, and I was just curious if you did anything because he was doing some different stuff. And I was curious if there was anything that you did the next day to kind of just figure things out.
He's like, no.
Ever.
I'm going to be a smartass. I threw better pitches the next day.
No, good. No. I was just curious because I saw.
It's funny, like, because I think I faced Dunn probably 15 to 18 times because when he was in Cincinnati, and I don't know if he ever got a regular base hit off me. I think he had 2 home runs or maybe 3, and he had a bunch of strikeouts when I walked him a couple times because the guy was, a tough out.
Yeah.
He'd strike out a lot, but he'd also walk 100 times and hit 40 homers. I mean,
No,
and I just threw. I think I just threw a slider that just didn't break much, and he hit a bomb. And then I think it's Brian Johnson. I'm getting the name right? He played for the Yankees.
Yeah, it was his nephew.
He was a singer for ACDC.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
No, stop singing. What? We're singing terribly. Stop singing.
Yeah, that was awful. Yeah, I've met Brian Johnson. That's awful.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Talk
like this. No, do less of that.
Yes.
No, you know what? I don't know. I didn't really change a whole lot. I was very superstitious. I did the same stuff every day. I just, made better pitches the next day. But I think I was more excited in the pen warming up that Charlie was putting me back in the game because it was later in the season. I believe. So he's putting me back in the game to face 2 guys who just took me deep the night before. It's almost a sink or swim situation. And, I don't know. That's one of the things that people talk about and I loved about Charlie is, he didn't worry about what you did the day before. He basically said, oh, well, today's a new day. Go get him, kid.
That's great.
He sat by he came to my locker after the game and he said, that was a lot better, huh? I wish I could remember exactly what he said because it was probably hilarious because the man is just awesome.
He's a wizard.
Oh,
Scott, was there a teammate? Maybe this is a tough question. Was there a teammate while you played, like, of any team that you played with that you just did not care for? Because, and the reason why I'm asking this is because
that's tough.
I met you in person once. We've talked to you, I don't know, 4 or 5 times on this show. You're just you just seem such like a down to earth, happy go lucky guy. Like go with the flow type of guy. Was there anybody that just I don't really care for this guy. He kind of ticks me off and whatever.
Not really, because those kind of guys, I just didn't really interact with them off the field or in the Duck clubhouse. But during the game, and I think I heard someone say it. It might have been Barry Bonds actually about in him and Jeff Kent. Like when I got traded out there like a couple weeks after they got into the bench clearing. When they got in the argument.
When they were scrapping
in the dugout.
Yeah,
that was right after I'd got there. And I think someone described it, and I think it was Barry. Could have been Jeff Kent. I don't remember who said it, but he said, we don't have to like each other or talk to each other for God's sakes, except on the field. We're teammates. We support each other. And I did watch them. I watched Barry hit a homer, and Jeff was one of the first guys there to high five him in the dugout, and vice versa.
Nice.
Jeff hit a big 3-run homer. I think one of my first few games in San Francisco. I think we were actually in Pittsburgh on my first road trip with them, and he hit a freaking bomb to put us up. And Barry was one of the first guys to the step to high five him.
Nice.
And someone said something about that, and I guess that's how I am. There's not too many. I guess there's not too many people that I just really can't stand, and the people I really can't stand. Man, I freaking hate them. I'm just one of those. I can't. I hate. And I know hate is such a strong word, but if I don't like you, it's usually because you're a dick. It's like I'd like to think I'm pretty easygoing, and I pretty much get along with everybody because I talk so much.
Now wait a minute, Scott. You mentioned San Francisco, and I want to talk about one of the. Maybe you don't even know this guy. He didn't even play that long, but you're on a baseball card with him, and he's got one of my favorite names,
Valdez.
Merkin Valdez.
Merkin Valdez.
Right off the bat, he said it.
Merkin. I love.
Yeah, because I got to share a card with Merck and Valdez. What the hell?
You do. I mean, and you know
I
what?
don't even understand the similarity. Why we're two of us on the card together?
You know what a Merkin is, right? I mean,
what a Merkin is?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh
Nobody
man.
knows.
Nobody knows. Well, I know.
No.
A Merkin is. Oh, you guys, you got to look this up. It's the greatest. A Merkin is a pubic wig.
Oh
It
my
is,
God.
They literally used, like, prostitutes wore them to cover up their
God.
venereal
I'm on a card
diseases.
with
Now he hates it that much
pubic
worse.
wig.
Dude, Google it. Merkin is a pubic wig. My fantasy team for the longest time
I'm on
was
a
the
baseball
heart-shaped
card with a
Merkins.
pubic wig.
You are on a baseball
heart-shaped-
card with
Heart-shaped Merkins.
the heart-shaped Merkins. I'm on
You
a
ruined his
trophy
life.
and everything. No, I'm just enlightening. That's all.
No, I don't think it's enlightening at all. Scott hates you now. He's never coming back on again. Lose my number.
I mean,
Oh my God, that's so gross.
it's so gross.
Pubic wig.
I still.
So
You know what the
on
coolest
you're on a baseball card with a pubic wig. How does
I
that
like
feel?
that.
I know, right? Oh, and I sign them all the time.
Yes. Now you'll laugh
You know
every time
what's
sign 'em.
crazy? I still get fan mail.
Nice. Hell yeah.
How the hell
you
do they know where I live?
But here's the
Hey,
thing,
I've
you
never
can get-
given your address to anybody.
The next time
It
you're
was
at the
Matt's
Phillies
fault.
show,
It's your
you can
fault.
get-
No.
I got a piece of fan mail a month after I moved into my house in North Carolina.
No way.
Dude,
Yes,
there's
I
crazy,
shit you not.
There's crazy databases out there. I've
Good
seen them because
God.
I'm not interested in chasing that unless I ask somebody. Like if I ask you on Twitter, hey, can I have your address? I want to send you
Yeah.
a thing. Like that's the way I'll
Right,
do
right,
it. Like,
right, right.
but there are people that they have these crazy databases to do this, and like,
Oh,
I mean,
it's
and it's great.
nuts.
Like they've reached out to me, like, hey, here's so and so's address. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Like that's.
So
Now
my
you might
my
be able to get
my
20 more bucks for a pubic wig on your autograph.
Oh,
God.
You know what I mean? For the inscription.
Yeah, it's so crazy. I get 1 to 3 pieces of mail a week.
No kidding.
Like,
Wow.
it's kind of craziness.
It
like,
is.
what the
It's
hell? I
about
don't
to
think I
go
got that
up.
much mail when I was playing.
Yeah, right.
Scott,
It's
you do
It's about to increase.
you do realize that this show is now going to be called Merkin.
Yes, sir.
Oh
Merkin
my
Air.
God.
Yep.
Merkin.
It's corner pub Merkin Sports.
I mean, I'm glad I brought that up and we all learned something tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A pubic
I learned
wig.
something. I'm on a card with a pubic wig.
A pubic wig. Yeah. That's right.
Oh
I mean,
my goodness.
There's not that many people can say that. I mean, you're on
No.
a card with a pubic wig. You've signed a toilet seat. I mean, you're pretty much at the apex.
You put a
pal.
little.
I'm
little
at the
braids
apex.
in.
I am at the apex.
That's right.
It doesn't get any lower. Oh God.
That's great. That is good living.
My cheeks hurt.
Yeah. Oh man.
What do you say?
His cheeks hurt. Like just the
Oh, my
laughing,
God.
the smiling. Hopefully
Oh,
not his
that's
ass
too many.
cheeks.
That's all the hoppy beers you guys drink.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, so what was the beer of choice in the parade?
Whatever people in the stands threw me.
An open one.
'Cause they didn't-
Brett
They
said-
told us they told us not to bring beer on the floats.
Right.
Well, I think Brett Myers went deaf when that happened. He had a lot.
I can
But like
believe
there was people, you'd
That's
go
not
by
like him.
somebody and you'd look. I'd look at someone going. I'd look at someone drinking a Bud Light or something, and I'd put my hand out like, hey, throw me one. People would throw them up all the time. That's pretty
awesome.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we tried to get Brett to call in tonight, but he ignored me. I don't know. He's working on his next hit country album, I guess.
He's probably doing another country album.
Dude, I had Durbin on the line. He was going to call in, and he got his schedule confused. So we were going to have a some 08 champs.
Durbin.
with you
Durbin's
and-
awesome, man.
he's the
Durbin's one of
best.
yeah, he's one of my favorite. He's so. I don't want to say analytical because he's not numbered. Well, he is though, and he's so mechanical. His kid's a stud, by the way.
Nice.
Yeah, that's
His
awesome.
Cade
Nice.
Cade threw a perfect game in his like second or third varsity start.
Damn.
Whoa.
I hope I'm right when I say that, Chad, if he's listening or if he sees
cool.
it. But
That's awesome.
yeah, his son Cade, who used to call my car the Lightning McQueen car because I had a CL65 AMG in it. When you turned it on, it went. It rumbled. It almost sounded like there was a little water in the engine, and I would rev the engine all the time. And he's like, "Cha-ching, ka-ching, ka-chow."
Awesome.
And it's funny that like he was a little kid back then, and now he's in high school.
Yeah, right.
So yeah,
How
yeah.
about it?
Yeah. We're all getting
Oh
old.
my god.
Dude, I can't believe it's been 15. I was thinking about that last night.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, 15 years,
Is
man.
it 15 years?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
that means I only got 5 more years for a 20-year reunion, baby.
Yeah,
man.
That's
There you go.
right.
But
That's
so
right.
it's funny about the beer thing because we asked Brett that same question. What's your favorite beer? And he said an open one. I'm like,
Yeah, well, yeah, his isn't open and doesn't even have to be cold.
Yeah. Oh, man. Ugh. Yeah, I can believe that. I can believe that.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen some of his videos? They're hilarious.
They are
Yeah,
hilarious.
They are good. Yoga pants.
Yeah,
He makes some good
My kids, one of my oldest son one day, he goes, Dad. And I said, I was like, yeah, what's up? He's like, so I was on YouTube or whatever he was on, Spotify, and he goes, Brett Myers is doing country music / rap music / I don't know what, but he was running around a farm in overalls and no shirt on.
Yeah.
And I go, at least he had his overalls on, son. Oh, it's hilarious. One of the kids in my high school team in Florida, it wasn't my son, it was one of the kids. I always call them my kids.
Right.
But one of the kids was like, can I come up to this song? I go, no, you cannot.
Oh, no.
There's far too many bad words in the first 6 words.
Right.
I can't even edit that out. We're at an Episcopal school, by the way, in Florida.
Oh, geez.
I'm like, yeah, you can't come up to that song. No.
No, pick something else.
How's Carolina treating you, brother?
Dude, it is awesome here.
Nice.
It's been rain. It's rainy and cold all day today. But
Basically, the way it's been here.
it is. I'm in Columbus, North Carolina, and I coach in South Carolina. So I'm only 4 miles from the border.
Yeah.
So
Right.
we do both. But like, I'll tell you what. On Tuesday night, last Tuesday, well, just this past Tuesday, I grew up in Utah. I played high school ball in Utah, and I played in Chicago, both Chicago's in April. We had that playoff game in Colorado that was just god awful cold.
Yeah.
Tuesday night, we played the team, and it was the coldest game I've ever been involved in. I swear, I had a shirt on, a long sleeve, almost like a golf pullover.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. It's like a waffle print. It's supposed to be kind of warm.
Yeah.
Then I had a long sleeve red sweatshirt on over that. And then we have these long sleeve, they have like a mock turtle, almost like a sweatshirt.
Yep.
That's short sleeve and kind of thick. Didn't matter. I was freezing.
Still, man.
Oh, the best part is I was wearing the camo long johns I bought for that said playoff game in Colorado.
Nice.
They're like 30-degree.
They're tested. Yeah.
Resistant or whatever. And the kids were saying something. I'm like, these are the greatest. This is the greatest thing I've ever bought in my life. And they're like, what? I go, these camo long johns I got on.
Johns.
My legs are warm, but the rest of my body is numb. Oh, it's so cold.
Man,
but other than that, I love it up here. It's small. It's small town. It is a small town, so you get a small town feel. But the high school kids I coach we're really young this year. We only have 2 seniors, and mostly we have 3 starting freshmen, 3 starting sophomores, and juniors.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, we're super young, and we're going to be really good this year. We're going to take our lumps. But they're super respectful, man. They play the game hard.
That's great.
They don't talk smack to the other team, even when the other team's talking smack and being a bunch of idiots.
Well, that's good. That's good coaching then.
Well,
that's
it's not. Yeah, they've been instilled that. The coach that was here before, for like 7 or 8 years before, he was here my first year, Coach Little. And he expected the kids to play as hard as they could and be respectful, respect the game. And then Coach Henson, my boy, he took over, the last year, and then this is his second year. And I remind him once in a while that I could be his dad because he's 30 and I'm 50.
Oh man. 30.
Yeah. So I remind him once in a while, but he's learning and he's getting the kids motivated, and we're looking forward. Hopefully we get a little better this year and win some games and surprise some people. But the next 2, 3, 4 years, we should be really good. So it's exciting.
Awesome. That is exciting.
Yeah, that's really cool.
That is really cool. When's your next time you're coming to Philly, man? Coming up this summer?
I'm trying to come this summer actually, because my wife. I'm not going to coach. I've the last 4 years I've coached the Collegiate Summer League down in Florida.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to do it this year. I just don't enjoy spending 6 weeks away from my wife and the dogs.
Sure.
Well,
maybe
I
6
like
days,
her.
not 6 weeks.
I'm kidding.
I found her June 2nd, 1995, and I'm not letting go. So the 6 weeks apart is no fun.
My man.
I had to throw that out there.
Damn right.
You're
getting points.
Hold on. She's sitting right next to you, isn't she?
Hello, Mrs. Eyre.
No, she's not. She's not here. She's probably. It's 10 o'clock. She's probably already in bed sleeping.
So yeah, you got to.
We go to bed. We go to bed early, except when I come house sitting, and then I stay up till midnight watching TV like a degenerate.
And watching dogs, run around in circles.
Yeah, the dog was spinning in circles. You heard me a little while ago telling stop, and it was spinning. Now it's laying in front of me sleeping. And the other one, Scarlett, over there, she's like I said, she's 14 or 15. I don't think she's moved since I got here. I have to check, make sure she's breathing once in a while, though.
It's like a kid just runs around and just tires itself out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it runs around so bad and then it just falls over.
Yeah.
Wait,
kind of like Gary. Where is Gary?
Gary's on the beanbag.
Oh, is he?
Oh, dude,
I
know.
He was.
He
got up.
I'll jump out for
pass
Gary
out?
if he needs to come
Did
back.
he pass
in,
out?
but-
No,
Don't lose Gary.
No.
I think he's out in the garage
Is he sleeping?
choking down some heaters. No, he was. He was laying there.
If
with
he's
the
out in the
dogs.
garage, he might get lost.
Yeah, you've been lost in that garage.
I've been out in the garage.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Did you ever have to cut down that tree?
I
Didn't you have
did.
to cut
I
down a-
did. I did cut down that tree.
Okay.
Yeah, that was pandemic stuff. I took an axe to a giant swamp maple in the backyard, and I was posting it all over. And I took 200 swings with a sledge axe every single day.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow.
And it took me like 47 days to knock it down. Like it was.
Notice
ridiculous.
he said 47. I'm just saying.
You're damn right.
Now he's got those broad
Oh
shoulders.
my!
Yeah.
200 times
Yeah.
47.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Is that like 9,400 swings?
It was something ridiculous, but it is
94,000?
perfect that I
God.
said 47
Now
because
I know why he wears the black and red plaid brawny.
yeah. Yeah,
I did have my relief room shirt on earlier today, by the way.
nice. Oh, the one I'm wearing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
The one you're wearing. I saw because I got on the Facebook page for a second.
Nice.
I saw you wearing it.
Yes.
And that's why I said, can we FaceTime? But I got I spilled some salsa on it, so I had to take it off.
Yeah, I know. Usually, the last few times we've had you on virtually a video, but because we're doing this remotely, you would have been able to hear us. We would not have been able to hear you on the setup. So
Yeah.
We could just sign language, just hold the finger up the whole time.
Well, yeah, Scott, I said 47 because not the last time, the last 2 years ago, I guess it was when I saw you was on my wife's 47th birthday.
47th birthday.
And Scott wore number 47. So we're at an event and Scott's wearing.
Well, we're at the Darren Dalton event. Yeah,
that's right, the Darren Dalton, and Scott's wearing his 47 jersey. And Cheryl's like, oh, I was like, hey, it's Cheryl's birthday. And so Scott gave her the jersey to wear. Awesome. And Cheryl's like, oh, this is amazing. And then at the end of the night, she's like, here's your jersey. Thanks so much. That was so cool. We got great pictures. And Scott's like, no. That's yours.
That's yours.
That's yours.
That's awesome.
And it's great. So the next day, so she comes home, she hangs it over, she takes it off, hangs it over a chair. Next morning, I go and take that and put it on a hanger and go put it in my closet. Because I put it with my Mario Hollins game used jersey and all this the ridiculous things that I have.
We had him on the show.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we had Mario Hollins.
Well, and Cheryl goes, "The fuck are you doing?"
That's mine.
And she's like, "That's mine." She's like, "Scott gave that to me." I was like,
"Yes,
yeah, right."
That'll wait, that girl, Cheryl.
I'm like, "Yeah, right." I'm like, "Well, damn it, you're right." Like, all right,
that girl, Cheryl.
Yeah. She's like, you can check it out whenever you want here in my closet. I'm like, okay.
Scott, would it be weird if I went out and got myself an Eyre jersey? Scott Eyre jersey?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I don't know. It'd be hard to find.
No, I can get it. I can get it done. I can get it done.
You'd have to. Your best bet is to talk to Debbie Nacito.
Deb's
She's
best.
the best.
Oh yeah, Debbie. Yeah, for sure.
Debbie's the best.
Yeah.
She really is.
Debbie got me a hookup on the Wall of Fame night this past year when Ron Reed got inducted.
Oh yeah.
And I got the velvet rope treatment. Like I got walked into a back room, and she might get mad at me for saying this. Yeah.
She really is.
But dude, I walked back into a room, and it was like a couple of staffers, but then there's a bunch of people sitting around a table. And it was Greg Lazinski and Del Unser and Steve Carlton and Ron Reed and another guy I didn't recognize. And I walked right past Carlton because I didn't care about him. And I mean, I got to stay on brand,
Yeah, he's a starter. I don't want it.
Yeah, that guy started way
he
too many
wasn't a
games.
reliever.
Exactly right.
Greatest Phillies pitcher of all time.
He's
fuck him.
You'd have to say Carlson was selfish because he didn't even let relievers pitch.
Exactly.
True.
Exactly.
Yes,
So I'm like, yo, lefty, go fuck yourself.
Yeah,
you know?
now it makes sense. Yeah.
No, it was.
I don't think anybody's ever so well. except for the guys that he struck out.
Yeah.
And it was great because then Debbie walked me right to Ron Reed and tapped him on the shoulder and was like, "This guy wants to meet you." And Ron Reed stopped his conversation and turned and stood right up and was just like, "Hey, how's it going?" And I was like, "Dude, I have your picture hanging in my bathroom." And he's like, "Ha, what?"
Yeah. That's the best part. When you tell people, "Yeah, you're hanging in my bathroom." Sweet, I couldn't make the hallway. What the fuck?
Yeah, right.
That's pretty cool.
I don't get in the man cave. Like, why am I in your shitter?
I have Ron Reed's autograph.
Yeah. And it was the best because then I
Larry
explained to him what I do with this, and he was just like, "Well, that's great," and that's the thing. It's that being unique that nobody, everyone's going up to Carlton going, you're lefty, you're the man, you're after Koufax, it's like you, and I'm like, nah, and so just the pen men. I mean, that's the way to go.
Yeah, you're like, no,
yeah,
I have no interest in that guy.
Yeah, exactly. No, sir, no interest.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Deb's the best, man.
Go stay in the mountains, you weirdo.
That's funny. Oh my god. Oh, hey Matt, did you ever get hold of oh god, I can't think of it. I just drew a blank. Out in California?
Warren.
Yeah, Bruce Star.
Yeah. We chatted a bunch. We texted back and forth. I never got a call. We never figured out a schedule with it. And then things the way it worked and whatnot. I pumped the brakes on it. I didn't want to keep bugging him. But yeah, we had a little momentum there for a little bit and then lost it. But that's
I don't think he didn't come to fantasy camp this year. He, with the COVID stuff still even being even remotely out around, he didn't go out because he's, as he put it one day in the first year we did fantasy camp after COVID, like he was there and he's like, I'm all he's all nervous, and then he didn't want to really, because he's very susceptible, I guess, whatever.
Well, he's getting a little older too. He's in his 70s. I mean, I get it. I get it. What was cool though is speaking of just talking to other relief room legends is when we were talking to Wally Ritchie earlier, he mentioned my love affair with Tom Hume. And and talking about his me begging for his glasses and whatnot. So I mean, Wally might put in a good word for me.
It still bothers me that I wish I'd known you, like that. I know Tom Hume lived in Sarasota.
I know.
Like, right, I lived there for 26 years.
I know, you were right there. I know.
I didn't know. I never met him, so I didn't know. Before I moved, I would have been like, "Oh, hey, let's hook up the Philly connection. I got to get a pair of glasses.
I need your glasses, right?"
Yeah. Can I go in your bedroom for a second? And just start searching through his drawers?
Can I go through your drawers? Yeah.
I just want to lay in your bed. Which side do you sleep on?
I mean, that's not weird, is it?
No. It's fairly normal in today's society.
Oh, that's too
funny. Making a mess. The first
Jesus.
First spill.
No, it was
You're
safe.
ruining the
Not a
relief
drop.
room.
Not a drop.
Relax. It was safe.
Not a drop. Toast.
Oh my
man.
goodness.
Oh, fucking empty anyway.
I'll tell you what, though, I got to make sure when I do come into Philadelphia, we got to come in on a Friday night so I can come in and have some beers with everybody in the.
Damn right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That's exactly right.
That'd be amazing, dude.
Let's make it happen.
And you can sign my sparkling new Scott Eyre jersey.
Oh yeah, we could probably arrange that.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
You have to make sure Durbin or somebody comes with you. I need somebody else's autograph on that toilet seat.
Oh man, I'm telling you.
So basically, what he's trying to say is you're not good enough. You need someone else too.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm the ambassador. I got to bring the people.
That's right. Scotty's my first.
We're gonna need a bigger celebrity to get us in the strip club.
Scotty popped my cherry. That's right.
We popped the bathroom cherry together.
That's right.
Yeah, I saw the pictures. That's kind of weird.
Not weird to me.
Weird is all relative, right?
That's right.
I was the one asking all questions the next day.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Scott, you already saw how jealous I was. I sent you that little video tonight, so you know.
Yeah.
Is that?
Think that weird.
Wait. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you just jealous. That's right.
Yeah, the pillow. Have a little pillow talk.
Hey,
wait, what'd you send me?
Oh, the picture
I
of
sent you that video. We
on the pillow.
That pillow. You can adjust the whatever the things are. I don't know what they are. What are they called?
I don't know what it's called, but I mean, if you don't
erase your face,
if you don't have a pillow with a picture of yourself,
Oh,
with Scott Eyre on
Sean,
it,
yeah, you sent me the video.
Yeah.
That's why I said you're just jealous.
just jealous.
Yeah, a little bit.
Jealousy is a stinky cologne, Sean.
It is. It is.
Jealousy is the Sex Panther cologne.
That's right.
60% of the time,
It works every
It works all the
time.
time.
Every time.
I gotta
Oh
tell
my
you, that
God.
smells like pure gasoline.
Smells
It's
like
like Bigfoot's dick.
It smells like a
How
diaper
funny is
filled
that?
with
How
Indian
funny is
food.
that freaking movie?
Dude, that movie's
Good.
gold.
Oh,
It is pure gold. I'll laugh. I
Hey.
laugh. Yeah.
Lay down, dog. I'm not going outside. I just stood up. I stood up and the dog literally bounced up from laying and is laying on his side position and sprung up like, hey, let's go. I'm like, no, I'm just stood up to get me a new beer. I just stood up to get a beer.
Yeah, I was only quoting Anchorman. Calm down.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Mark twice if you're
I
in
love
Milwaukee.
lamb.
Choice if you're in Milwaukee.
I love
I'm
lamb.
not even mad. That's actually
just
impressive.
impressed.
You ate
You ate a whole wheel of
you ate
cheese.
a whole wheel of cheese.
Seriously,
I'm not even
Steve
mad.
Carell, that's
just-
probably
that's
one
just
of
a-
my favorite Steve Carell things. Are you just looking around the room saying things you love?
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
I love lamp.
Yeah.
I love lamb.
I love.
He's-
I love
He's
Rob.
smelling burnt mayonnaise on the toaster.
Oh,
Years later, scientists also.
oh, man. You know, Scott, what's great is we're standing out here in what I now call the locker room, and guys are taking a break from the show and just running in to use the relief room. I love
Yeah,
it.
how cool is that, right? Yeah.
Man, don't get any on my signature.
Oh, I should.
Too late.
Too late.
Wait, that's an awful long spray.
Oh wait, that wasn't pee. I'm sorry.
Oh no. Did you taint the relief room?
Oh man,
His secret's out.
There's only 2 reliefs you
He's-
can have in there.
He
Okay?
went in and seen your picture, Scott. and he
Matt
just
made
went
that
ahead on
very clear
himself.
before we came in. Today.
That's right.
There's two.
You
Not
can
three.
relieve yourself in 2 ways in there, not 3. That's right.
Number
Is
one,
that,
number
what,
two.
is that what you said?
I said that. Yeah.
You said that? I missed that part.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I missed that part.
That was before we were on. Yeah.
That's before you were on camera, you know.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh man, but shit, man.
That's
But Scott, dude, this is
awesome.
yeah, this was really awesome of you guys, all you guys to call in.
Oh hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
The least of you for you to call in, but everyone
I
else.
think I've told Sean before. It's pretty sad that I basically see almost all your guys' Friday shows because I don't go anywhere. It's pretty sad that the first thing I do on Friday night is roll over and go, "Hey, I wonder what the guys are talking about today on Facebook."
Shit, just become a co-host.
Yeah, right.
And tonight it's wild, man, because this week I don't know if you followed it, but for the Eagles, man, this was a huge week for the Eagles. I mean, they made huge, major sign-ins and all kinds of crazy stuff. And I'm like, nope, this is a
We
base.
put that all aside to talk to you,
Yep,
Scott.
this
How's
is a-
that make you
Wait,
feel?
what happened in Philly this week? I haven't actually watched sports all week.
Oh,
I've been super busy with my son's been home from college, so we've been disc golfing and going to Chinese or going to sushi places 45 minutes away.
Nice.
Like I haven't watched anything.
So their offense is basically remaining intact except for Miles Sanders. He's gone.
Yeah, but they got Rashad Penny.
They signed Rashad Penny from Seattle. Their defense has completely, you're thinking, oh my God, they're going to lose all these guys. It started off the very first sign, and Javon Hargrave went to San Fran.
Oh,
no,
did
I'm sorry. TJ Edwards
went to
TJ
Chicago.
Edwards.
Edwards.
Chicago.
Oh,
Then-
Edwards. Okay.
Then Hargrave goes to San Fran. You're like, oh no. And then this isn't good. And then they're cutting Darius Slay. And then they keep Slay. They sign James Bradbury. He stays. So they're trying their best to remain intact. They still have to sign their safety.
But here's the beauty.
CJ
We
Garner
have-
Johnson.
We have
yeah.
the best quarterback in the
Okay.
NFC, and all the great quarterbacks are in the AFC. So we're gonna have to play defense in February. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a
good point. I like it.
Oh, they did keep Slay.
They
They cut him.
the team. No, they
No, they were going to cut.
There
him.
They
was
were
that-
going to cut him.
There was reports, quote unquote reports, that they were going to cut him, and they never did. And then all of a sudden, like late night, it was like, oh, I follow his wife on Twitter, and she's like, "We staying."
I was just gonna say his wife probably had something to do with it because she's all over Twitter.
Yeah, she's like, "We staying," and then all of a sudden, everyone ran with it. Oh, they're,
So what are
they're
you trying to
staying.
say? It was her decision?
No, well,
Yeah, I'm saying it probably was.
No,
her
we-
decision.
Probably was.
I wouldn't mess with that woman.
She said, Darius, we ain't leaving Philly.
Well, I'm glad
Work
she's
this shit
staying.
out.
I'm
She's
glad
a good-looking lady.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
glad
know.
she's
I
staying.
Yeah,
It was
I
cool
don't
with
think
cards
I don't think I'd mess with Miss Slay.
No, so
Nah.
it was for a selfish reason. I'm glad. Never mind. I don't want to share it. That's all right. For a selfish reason, I'm glad he's staying because the weekend before last weekend, I did like a little not a poll, Jesus Christ, a free drawing, right? I won like a freaking giant picture of Darius Slay running back at a touchdown, and he autographed it, right? I'm like,
it's
oh,
not
that's
always
cool.
about you.
I know, but I'm like,
It's
oh
not always
man,
about you.
but no.
Who gives a fuck about your
No,
picture?
but here's
if
the thing.
Darius Slay wasn't an Eagle anymore.
But here's the thing. I get it. And the first thing I went, well, he's gone. I'm like, he's not staying, right? I'm like, this sucks. And the cool thing is, it was in Denver. The picture is from Denver. I was at that game in Denver. And I'm like, damn, this is so cool. I'm like, but he's not going to be here. And I'm like, do I hang it up? And now he's staying. Now I don't feel so bad. So it is about me. So fuck you.
Great story.
Yeah, thanks.
Hey, don't be bringing up the Denver losses, okay? I'm a Bronco fan.
Yeah.
I hate Russell Wilson.
Yeah, well, it was before that. It was when Bridgewater was a quarterback the year before.
Yeah,
that's even
that
worse.
did not work out well for.
Things will be all right.
Yeah, you're all right, Scott. They got Sean Payton.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's true. I'm excited about that.
He'll
I
clean
just
things
don't.
up. He's gonna put.
I just
Russell
don't.
Wilson
I'm
in
just
his
not a
place.
huge fan of
I forgot
Russell
about
Wilson.
I forgot about that. Yeah, you're a Broncos fan.
I mean, anybody that shows up to their first practice in their own workout or on their own jersey is kind of weird to me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's a
but Sean
strange.
Payton shut that down. He shut
He
down
did.
his own private.
Yeah, his own
rooms.
private
Yeah,
office. He
yeah.
had it.
He's on it.
Like he
He
had an
knows.
office. He had an office on the second floor with all like the executives and shit. Like outside of
weird.
the players.
Oh yes, that was like
That's
Boogie.
weird.
Wow, that's
Yeah, that was pretty good. Who did that? That was pretty good. I heard that.
That was me, pal.
That was
Yeah.
Matt. Yeah.
It's visceral.
Who
It comes
dropped
from the
the
depths.
Who dropped the Revenge of the Nerds?
I
Booger.
did.
Yeah, that's my boy Kenny.
The greatest scene in that whole movie is
Yeah,
the
Booger.
little is the guy riding the I can't remember his name, the Asian guy riding the little tricycle around.
Oh, yeah,
right.
He was in Police
Scott,
Academy.
He
Scott,
was.
Scott, you're not allowed to say Asian anymore. It's Oriental. It's Oriental.
No, that's accurate.
I don't
That's
give a crap.
inaccurate.
He's
That's,
Asian.
that's, that's
No,
backwards.
it's actually Asian.
Slay
You
guy.
cannot use that.
Well, when that
nomenclature.
movie came out, I could call him Asian. So,
That's right.
That's okay.
It's the
but I
slants.
forget his name, and he was in a bunch of other movies, but that was
Chim
hilarious.
Yeah, he was in Police Academy 3. He was
Yes.
Tamaka.
Nice, dude.
Tamako. Oh my God.
Knowledge here,
And he
baby.
got kicked out of the
That's cool.
Commandant, the other academy, and he got sent to Commandant Mauser's, and he kicked him out. Because
Why
of
do you
Asian
know
guys.
so much about
so much
about
Police
Academy.
I don't
Kenny, you're
understand.
Well done.
I mean, I like.
How
Michael
about
Winslow.
how about Short Round from
Oh,
Indiana Jones
yeah.
winning the
Indiana
Oscars or
Jones.
whatever?
Oh,
Yeah.
Indy, cover your
That
heart.
was huge.
That was well done.
Dude,
Well done.
how I haven't seen that movie yet or anything, but how awesome is that story?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And how
Short
great is
Round.
it that Steven Spielberg did it.
Very
He
cool.
Looked at him.
Oh,
very
That
cool.
was awesome.
Oh,
Yeah,
you mean the Oscars? You mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you hear him? Did you hear him tell the story about like 25 years later or something? He was somewhere and Harrison Ford was in a room and he was kind of standing there and he looked and he goes, and I saw Harrison Ford over there and he kind of looked at me and he goes, Harrison Ford gave me that look like that death stare, like, don't you come over here, don't you talk to me, I don't know who you are. And he kind of looked at him as he got closer and he goes, Short Round? And he said yes. And then he ran and gave him a big. I thought that was the coolest shit ever.
Well, he wasn't sure because he's like, you all look the same, so I'm not sure if you were him or not.
See, Sean.
See, Sean, you can't do that.
Sure you can.
It's like in the Big Lebowski. And dude, please, the preferred nomenclature is Asian Americans.
Yes. Yes. Exactly it.
Yeah, exactly. We're not talking about the people that built the fucking railroads here, Walter. We're talking
That's
about the
right,
guy that
Walter.
pissed on my rug.
By the way, you're gonna appreciate this. April 16th, one night only. Big Lebowski is back in the theaters for the 25th anniversary.
That's money.
Might
Yes,
be
it
it.
is all across
Unless it's a
America.
Friday
for
night.
one
It
night.
was just the 25th anniversary recently. I went to the store to buy some cream to make some White Russians. Cheryl and I were crushing White Russians.
Yes.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
you're not allowed to say White Russians anymore.
Oh, I can't call it
The dude.
the dude, the buds.
The dude.
That's a Christmas tradition.
It's the light
You're
color.
damn right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's pure gold.
What do you mean you can't say White Russians?
It's the light colored Russians.
No, you're not allowed to say it anymore. It's
Yeah. The ones without the tans.
The ones.
You can't say anything anymore nowadays.
the drinks without the tans.
But
Yeah.
I have pictures of
That's
you
it.
sitting there like Walter at the coffee table.
That's what it's called
I'm
now.
finishing
Drinks
my
without the
coffee.
tans.
I'm finishing my coffee.
May I have
I
it?
do have pictures of me dressed like that.
I had
with
guys. I had
fishing
guys
definitely.
face down in Nam. I'm finishing my fucking.
That's
coffee.
exactly right.
Scott said, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
All right, we gotta cut this shit off.
Yeah. We're time. It's time.
We're starting to get a little
punchy.
But Scott, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna let Matt close the show out.
Yeah, Scotty, thanks so much, man. This was the perfect the perfect icing on top of the cake, man. Thanks so much for calling in.
And not white white icing. It's
It's the light colored.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Icing.
right.
It's just icing. Appreciate.
We got white icing. What are you talking about?
Doesn't matter if
And
it's
that's on your,
Carolina-
no,
in
that's on your
South
toilet seat. That's
In
on the
South
toilet
Carolina,
seat.
you can get away with that.
yeah.
Toilet
From Terry Adams to Wally Ritchie to the world fucking champion Scott Eyre.
Yeah.
Thank you
It was
for
a
calling
beautiful
in
night.
Hell
and
yeah.
topping this off. I mean, St. Patrick's Day in the relief room with you guys. Like, this was awesome. And thank
Shit,
you.
I forgot it was St. Patrick's Day. I didn't wear any green today. Nobody pinched me.
Nobody
I'm gonna have to
pinched
yell at
me,
my
not
wife.
yet.
Why didn't the
I'm gonna have
Phillies
to-
wear the green jerseys today?
Because
It's a
they're
contract
because
thing.
the contract. They can only have so many jerseys. Of a
Yeah,
certain
it's
color.
nonsense. So that's why they wear the hat and the socks, but not the jersey.
Stupid.
Yeah,
It's spring training. Who gives a shit?
exactly.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, but it's
It's
become such a
all
machine
about
now
the
that it's
money.
all about the dough. So
It's MLB
yeah.
and their stupid ass rules.
yeah, that's
That's
exactly
right.
right.
Agreed.
Exactly right.
Fucking Manfred.
But brother, thank you for calling in again.
Oh,
and,
yeah. Hell yeah.
Hey, when you're up here, man, you know where you're coming. We'll go disc golfing. We'll go. We'll hang out at the relief room. We'll hang out at the pool. I love all of these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
We got to mix in the game there too.
Yeah, that's a damn fact. We'll make sure Debbie sets up the tickets. Good shit, Scotty. Thanks, pal. Appreciate you calling in.
Yeah, man. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right,
Be
see
good.
you, pal. Later,
Thanks so
buddy.
much, Scotty Eyre joining the show. That was cool, man. That was awesome. Hey, Matt, this was an absolute blast.
It was a pleasure.
tonight.
This
Yeah.
did not
Yeah.
suck.
No, this is awesome.
This was
glad
awesome.
I got to be a
No.
part of it.
Yeah,
You know
man.
what I
Me
mean?
too.
Yeah, thanks for joining. Definitely, Ken. This was awesome, and Gary, thanks for joining. No, this is awesome, man. You know, we actually did a virtual tour for those who viewed it live. If you missed it live,
Yeah. I mean, I know we're in the locker room right outside of the relief room, but it really, if you come see it, there,
It's so
We-
close.
we can't all fit in there, so this was close enough.
we could. It would just be weird.
It'd be really weird.
Yeah,
There'd be
it
lots of lap stuff, and
Come on, ride the train.
I mean,
And ride it.
it
Somebody
could-
like- someone
again, it's a singing podcast here.
Yeah,
Clearly, this
it
is the third or
sometimes.
fourth time.
This is what we
The
do.
worst
Yeah.
is that he
Doesn't happen.
joined in.
Yeah, I know, right? He's
Like, I just knew it.
he's like, don't worry, guys, I got the treble.
Jesus Christ, the Sixers won 121 to 82.
Yeah, it was a half.
Yeah,
like
what
at
you
half,
saw
there
where
was
they
like-
were playing,
oh
half the
my-
guys were having a stroke on that court.
Oh
Like
my
they couldn't
God.
walk because of
At
the
halftime, it was almost tied.
man.
That's not even a contest. That's crazy.
Well, Charlotte's one of the worst teams.
But
But anyway,
should we do quick while you were drunk? Oh, very quick while you're drunk. Just stories
let's do
that,
it.
stories that happen.
Hurry
I'm not gonna. I don't have the thing, but just real quick. Bud Grant passed away this past week. Vikings coach, longtime Vikings coach, Hall of Famer. Obviously we have a bunch of free agent moves.
Yeah, we'll
so
get into
yeah,
that
we'll get
next
into that next week. So I'll skip that. Danny Barrere's son.
Oh, yeah, about that.
Things happen, man. You're young.
Yeah,
and you just
dude.
do it.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Ken. Thank you. Like, so his son Carson got caught on video at a club pushing a wheelchair down the steps. The girl was carried down the steps to go to the bathroom, and someone and his son was caught on camera sitting in it, stood up and pushed it down the chair. Huh? She wasn't in the wheelchair. She
Nah, it
was
was
in
a
the
bad
bathroom.
decision. He
No,
shouldn't
he
have
didn't.
done it.
He didn't push
You
the
know.
wheelchair down with the girl in it. No,
No.
he didn't do that.
He threw the wheelchair down the steps.
It was just a bad move. It was
Right. We've
shame.
all been 21, right? Like everyone, like, because Twitter's so, this is despicable. Every single person who's on Twitter and every one of us in this room has done something they regret and has done something
Yep.
stupid where you're like, man, that was kind of fucked up. Like Mike, like we poured, paint thinner on someone's brand new car.
No, he deserved it.
See, but the girl,
No, the girl didn't deserve
Right,
it. That's
so-
a totally different
That's
situation.
different. That's different.
see, is it? But it was still stupid.
No, so what? But if you
We
he
still
deserved
caused
it, it's-
damage to something. You
Well,
know
I
what
don't
mean?
regret it.
But if he deserved it, it's different.
All right, well then, fuck you, Mike. So
Yeah, it's a different
Nah, but
scenario.
In,
All
this situation,
Like the night,
it's
the night of the 2017 Super Bowl, that dude deserved it.
Yeah, he deserved it.
But in
So-
this situation, it's a situation where your dad's now the acting GM. You got to have a better head on your shoulders. You got to have a low profile. You got to do your thing.
It was a
You're a
bad
kid.
move.
You're a
Even at
kid.
21, yeah.
You're a kid, but you still have to know that shit's not good to do.
But the other thing too,
I'm just glad there weren't cameras when I was 21 years old.
Sure.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's just
I knew your dad wasn't a GM of a.
But that still doesn't matter. Do the right
He's
thing.
a
when
GM
people
of
aren't-
something.
But here's the thing: do the right thing when people aren't looking. In the end, that's what you have to do.
Right.
That's it.
That's what I do every day.
Damn right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Steve
when I
Jeltz
was
tells you
21,
to.
I didn't.
I do.
When I was 21, I didn't.
I did.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
I did the right thing.
No, that's
Sean,
not even-
ask your sister.
That's so
That's the perfect way to end it.
All
Mic
right.
drop.
All right, guys.
I guess there's no more while you were drunk.
Now there are two more. I'm done.
Next week.
We'll see you guys next week. Corner Plus Sports says see you next Friday. It's been fun. From the Relief Room, follow them
Yes.
at the Relief
The
Room
Relief
on Twitter.
Room,
This
that's
was a
right.
blast. Thank you, Scott. Thank you. Jesus Christ, I'm drawing a blank on
Terry
everybody.
and Wally
Thank
and
you.
the
Wally
Relief
Ritchie
Room
and
and
Terry
all of that.
Adams. Yeah, this was awesome. Thank you guys. See you guys next week.
Cheers.
Yep.
Peace out.
Sister.